classical to dance. For more information, contact Michael Donahue at Newport News Cablevision, 595-9874. Digital Music Express for business. Someday every business will sound this good.
You have to learn to pace yourself. Pressure, you're just like everybody else. Pressure, you've only had to run so far, so good. But you will come to a place where the only thing you feel are loaded guns in your face. You'll have to deal with pressure.
The pressure of a $1.5 million chase for glory is felt throughout Phoenix, Arizona. Will Dale Earnhardt or Rusty Wallace win stock car racing's premier prize, the Winston Cup? TNN Motorsports proudly presents live flag-to-flag coverage of the Slick 5500. $90,000 race fans are awaiting the signal for these cars to start their engines and begin 500 kilometers of racing here at Phoenix International. Most of those pairs of eyes will be trained on the two black cars at the top of the title chase. First, let's go to the point leader and Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Dale Earnhardt has clung tenaciously to the points lead since mid-May. They've done that through incredible consistency and preparation. But earlier this morning in inspection, they found some problems with the car. They had to correct them. It was the last car to get here on the grid, only arriving here just a few moments ago. Dale, is everything okay?
I hope so. I think it is. I trust the crew well, and they just found a small leak in the brake caliper that probably would have been okay, but you have some leakage in them. But they repaired that, and they were a little late getting in the inspection line, so they just took a little extra time. Make sure everything's ready.
Best of luck to you today. Ralph is standing by with his closest pursuer.
For Rusty Wallace, Phoenix has always been a roller coaster of emotions. Close for a win, but your best finish is a fifth here. What do you got to do to win here?
I just got to stay consistent. I've got a real good car. I had a good car last year, and this is a very important race for me. I need some points, and I've got to work hard for that. But drive smart, and I got a strong car. I think I'll be pleased with the results today.
Mike, the car's name is Midnight Rider, and it won earlier this year at Rockingham.
Thanks, Ralph, and hello, everybody. It's a little cool and cloudy here at Phoenix. Good day for making horsepower, bad day to get a suntan, but a great day for seeing some racing. You've met the two drivers that are atop the point standings. Dale Earnhardt, since Sears Point in May, has held tenaciously onto the point lead. He's increased it. He's dropped back. At Charlotte, he gained 10 points. Last week, he lost 10 to Rusty Wallace. But Wallace has been on an incredible roll. His 9 victories include 4 of the last 6 Winston Cup races. You've met the two drivers. Now let's look at another part of this chase for the championship with the car owners, Neil Bonnet and Buddy Baker.
Mike, I'm down here with a guy that's old hat for championships. He's won a lot of them. 9 IndyCar wins, 8 championship IndyCars. Roger, as the car owner, is saying, how do you have to participate with these guys to try to win this championship?
Well, I guess that I've sat in the pits many races and watched them go by the start-finish line. The opportunity here with NASCAR is to be able to get up in the spotters area beyond the radio, and I can watch the racetrack for Rusty, see what the car is doing, and you know when you're competitive and when you're not. And I just try to be part of that process. I'm not at every race. Don Miller handles it most of the time, but being part of that car and being there with Rusty is key for me. But again, being part of NASCAR has been a lot of fun. I think that the competitors are outstanding. The sport itself has grown. It's helping all motorsports, quite honestly. And again, it's something different. You know, when you haven't won somewhere, you know, that's the goal in racing. You want to go there and win.
Well, I'll tell you what, this guy's a top figure in IndyCar racing. He wants the championship in NASCAR. Let's go down to Buddy Baker.
Well, Neil, I'm down here with your old buddy, Richard Childress, car owner for Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet. The other part of the points race. Richard, what in the world are you doing with the intensity that your race team must be going through with 2 races to go? What are you doing to ensure that you'll win the championship when it's all over with?
Well, buddy, you know, if you lay awake at night and think of things, and you do, you know, I guess my biggest concern would be a parts failure or something of that nature. I feel I've got the team. I know we got the driver. You know, our pit crew's doing a great job. I just think it's going to come down to which team don't have a failure and and can really race out the end of the last 2 races here.
Well, while Wallace has been the hottest thing on the circuit of late, Earnhardt is clearly in the driver's seat. If he leaves Phoenix today with a 186-point lead, he is the champion. If Earnhardt wins and Rusty finishes 31st or worst, it's over. If Earnhardt leaves today with a 152-point or more lead, all he has to do is roll out on the pace lap at Atlanta to win the Winston Cup for 1993. Those are the contenders for the championship. Lots more stories to come. TNN Motorsports live exclusive coverage of the Slick 5500 is brought to you by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. By cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft and Miller Genuine Draft Light, taking the country by storm. By Buick and your local Buick dealer. Remember Buick, the new symbol for quality in America. By Goodyear, #1 in tire. And by AC Delco. It's like buying time. Well, the cars and the teams are ready, and so are 90,000 plus race fans packed into this facility. We'll be right back to bring it to you live.
Robert, we're ready.
Okay. Got it warmed up?
Yeah.
Before a Robert Yates engine makes it to the track, it's torture tested right here.
Well, let's do it.
And there's only one motor oil Yates relies on for complete protection, Haviland Formula 3. The same Haviland Formula 3 you can buy right off the shelf.
215 degrees, 8,700.
That's race ready.
Haviland Formula 3 motor oil from Texaco.
It's running like a winner. That'll get the job done.
The Miller Genuine Draft Rusty Wallace stock car. See it. Hear it. Feel it. Catch it, if you can.
He packs heavy. He packs light. He wears silk. He wears wool. He's comfortable at 68 degrees. She prefers 72. Good thing they own a Buick Park Avenue with available dual-zone climate control. 72 for her, 68 for him. Too bad everything isn't as accommodating as Park Avenue. From Buick, the new symbol for quality in America.
In IndyCar racing, when it rains, we don't race on super speedways. But we're running this IndyCar on Goodyear Eagle GSC street radials to prove a point. What's the point? Outstanding wet traction. Eagle GSC, only from Goodyear.
For this guy, any deodorant will do, but these guys need Speed Stick, antiperspirant that gives 110%. And now Speed Stick deodorant has a powerful new formula to fight odor. Speed Stick, for movers and shakers, the #1, the only one.
Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona, in the Slick 5500 as Rusty Wallace gets ready to challenge Dale Earnhardt. Wallace's 9 wins has been his winningest ever, and last week at Rockingham was a textbook victory, as Mike Joy reports in a Haviland update.
Early in the race, rookie driver Loy Allen gets to find out firsthand just how solid the rock really is. For a while, it looked like Ernie Irvan might run off and hide from the field as he had done at Charlotte. But Harry Gant, working the high groove as usual, worked his way to the front, and Jimmy Spencer was really fast on the bottom side. Rusty Wallace started deep in the pack and didn't even lead this race till around halfway, but after that there was no stopping him. Bill Elliott had one of his best runs of the season. Dale Earnhardt's car continually improved, here passing Elliott for second. But there will be no stopping Rusty. He wins the spring and fall races at Rockingham this year and picks up his 9th victory of the season. Earnhardt was second and Elliott third. Rusty got back the 10 points he lost at Charlotte, so Dale now leads by 72. Mark Martin is third, Dale Jarrett fourth, and Morgan Shepherd fifth. Ken Schrader moves up to sixth, dropping Kyle Petty back to seventh, Ernie Irvan solid in eighth, then Bill Elliott and Ricky Rudd.
This has been a disappointing year for Bill Elliott by his own standards, but recently things have changed. They've been running really well, very competitive. Bill's put the Budweiser Ford on the pole today. Good chance to get that first win this year.
Well, we certainly hope so. I think we're going to give it our best effort. kind of see where things go. But all in all, Mike Beam and all the guys have really worked hard. You know, and it's a shame we hadn't done better, you know, up till now. But things have really been running well, and we hope today's going to be a good day for us.
Well, this team's headed in the right direction. I think today might be his day, Mike.
Well, Glenn, they've had a good weekend, but the car on the outside pole, not quite. Dick Trickle in the Mannheim car today qualified on the outside pole, but Trickle had trouble in yesterday's final practice session, scraping the wall in 3, sliding around, getting the whole back end up against the wall in 4, and damaging the rear end and its mountings. That crew, including Trickle, they're kneeling under the car, spent a long afternoon yesterday getting that car back in shape. Are they ready to challenge Bill Elliott for the lead on that first lap? Let's find out from Ralph Shaheen.
Dick, how bad is the car?
Well, really, the Mannheim auction people did a good job. The crew just got it going. We just had a slight ricochet off the wall yesterday and didn't hurt anything major, just more cosmetic. So we're in good shape.
Now to Glen Jarrett with some special guests.
Well, I've got with me the Grand Marshal, Congressman Ed Pastor, and Brad Alexander with Western Auto. He's Vice President of Marketing and Advertising. You got something to tell these guys?
Gentlemen, start your engine.
There they are, 43 strong. Winston Cup and Winston West drivers to challenge this 1-mile oval at Phoenix, Arizona. Sears Diehard with more power when you need it most presents the starting grid. Bill Elliott shattered the track record 45th career pole. Dick Trickle, 4th career front row start. Mark Martin finished 2nd here last year. Ricky Rudd looking for a top 10 finish at Phoenix. Ernie Irvin, he's 1, 2, and 8 starts for Robert Yates. Rusty Wallace looks for win number 10 today. Sterling Marlin, best super speedway start since New Hampshire. And Ken Schrader, who won here 2.5 years ago. Jeff Gordon, the rookie, makes his 15th top 10 start. And Chuck Bown up from the Busch Series. Dale Earnhardt won here in 1990. Brett Bodine looking for his first win in 3 years. Rick Mast was 7th here in the 1990 race, and Dale Jarrett was 5th 4 years ago. Harry Gant looking for win number 1 in 93, and Lake Speed makes his 6th start for Bud Moore. Row 9, Jimmy Spencer's never finished out of the top 10 here. Steve Grissom makes his 2nd Winston Cup start. Jeff Bodine has 3 top 10s at Phoenix. Bobby Labonte has 2 top 10s on 1-mile racetracks this year. Darrell Waltrip has been no worse than 4th the last 4 years, and Morgan Shepherd was 3rd here in 1990. Michael Waltrip and the Winston Southwest Tour champ Ron Hornaday Jr. Rick Corelli, who's the Winston West champion, and Terry Labonte, who's finished 2nd here twice. In row 14, Kyle Petty rode his Harley all the way out here from North Carolina. Hut Strickland makes his 5th start at Phoenix. Jimmy Hensley is driving the Morgan McClure car today, and Todd Bodine for Butch Mock. In row 8, Derek Cope was 7th here last year, and Kenny Wallace has 3 top 10s this season. Wally Dallenbach, 2nd at Watkins Glen, and IndyCar racer John Andretti, who ran 6th here in the IndyCar race this year. Bobby Hillen and Ted Musgrave, who won the Copper Classic here in 1989. Rick Wilson returns to Phoenix, and Winston race winner from Winston West, Mike Chase. Rich Woodland, the 23-year-old from California, and Loy Allen Jr. is in the Country Time Ford today. Terry Fisher in the number 71, carrying Dave Marcus colors, and Dirk Stevens, the Winston West regular. Wayne Jacks makes his 1st Phoenix start, and he'll go 43rd. Field is set, and they're fired up in front of a record crowd here in Phoenix. We'll be right back.
The average Grand Prix lasts but a few hours, unless it's a Grand Prix started with a genuine Delco Freedom battery. Delco's rated tops for taking the pole position in starting power and excelling in reserve capacity. Helps keep your engine in the race for a longer, more reliable life.
AC Delco. It's like buying time. Now through December 4th, get started with up to $14 cash back on Delco Freedom batteries.
Next Sunday, live only on TNN Motorsports, Busch Grand National returns to North Carolina's Hickory Motor Speedway, and it's crunch time. With the points race on the line, Busch drivers will be pushing their cars right to the edge as they try to capture not only the checkered flag, but a possible season championship. With one race to go, it's do or die. The Pantry 500 next Sunday, live only on TNN Motorsports.
Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona. It's going to be a good day for racing, but put the suntan oil away. The weather radar shows there's nothing happening out west here today. 68 degrees, 19% humidity. It is cloudy and a little cool out there. Today you'll be riding along with a couple of our TNN innovation cams. Mark Martin will have 3 of them. You see the roof cam on top of his Valvoline Ford, starting 3rd today. Inside, over the shoulder, the mother-in-law cam with its tilt and pan capability. And what Mark Martin sees best represented by this roof cam. And we'll also have a face cam in Mark's car. There he is from the left door post. Ready to go to work. Now for the real fun. Mr. Excitement, Jimmy Spencer in the Meineke Mufflers Ford of Bobby Allison. We'll be carrying cameras today. There is the race cam. And here's the new deal. Hood ornament cam. You're going to get some really up-close stuff from this today, so sit way back from your TV set. Suspension cam in the right front. Happy birthday, Mom. There with all the front end parts. That's as unique a birthday card as you'll ever see. That's the right front suspension of that car. 500 kilometers today at Phoenix. 43 cars in the field. 312 laps make up today's race distance. Bill Elliott is the record holder. There are the winners and where they started. In each Phoenix race, Earnhardt, the highest placed winner, started 3rd when he won it in 90. Alan Kulwicki, his first Winston Cup win, came all the way from 21st to do it. We're ready to go racing here at Phoenix, Arizona. As they come down, green flag. Bill Elliott and Dick Trickle, the front row. 2 by 2 through the first and second corner, and then to the dog leg in the back straightaway.
Well, you'd think Trickle would have to be apprehensive of that car after that damage, but there he goes, right back after Bill Elliott on that outside.
From Mark Martin's car, in 3rd place, Elliott noses under Trickle, and they get real close under the Goodyear Bridge. Who will lead the first lap at Phoenix? Trickle by 2 feet.
Boy, they repaved this racetrack, and it's a good thing they did. Two abreast this early in the race.
First time Dick Trickle's led the first lap of a Winston Cup race since June 1990 at Dover when he started on the pole. 3 wide.
Bill Elliott's car jumped sideways just then coming off the corner, and you see Mark Martin got right up under him. He's on the inside of him now, getting right on by.
Mark Martin up to 2nd. Elliott comes charging back on the outside. Ricky Rudd is 4th. Rusty Wallace is 5th. Sterling Marlin, Ernie Irvin, Kenny Schrader, Jeff Gordon. And there is Dale Earnhardt behind Chuck Bound in the 39, the Rouleau brothers car out of Chicago.
Well, Chuck Bound had a good qualifying effort here.
Wants a Winston Cup ride. And an up-front finish today might do it for him. There are going to be some seats open. Earnhardt makes the pass. Side by side at 4th place now, as they're otherwise single file through the pack. There's Earnhardt. There you see Jeff Gordon diving underneath Schrader as Ricky Rudd around the outside, and around goes Schrader off the nose of Earnhardt.
I'm sure we'll show that again, but you could pretty well see what happened there. Schrader was unaware that Earnhardt was under him, and there was contact going through the corner there and turned him right up in the wall.
Here's a 6 car racing back to the line.
And Mark Martin leads the lap here. He's the number 3 point man in Winston Cup. And Schrader will be able to drive this one away.
The key here, he's trying to get away before they caught up, but he went a lap down.
He's got some severe damage to the front of the car there, Neil. The left front tire is down, and it's also bent in. It's like the front end's not completely out from under the left front.
A lot of front end damage to the car.
Now he's saying, why?
Watch the upper part of your screen there.
Okay, you see Earnhardt's car never varied. It was right on the yellow line there, and Schrader come down just a little bit, and they got into each other. Don't take much, does it, Neil?
No, I tell you, we've seen cars all week long. If they get out of this black area, move up in that white where that rosin's at, they've been sprinklers. This is after they had the contact back in the middle of the corner. Boy, I hate to see Schrader have that trouble this early. Looked like we were talking about, looked like a lot of damage to his car, that front end. Here they're going in the bottom. Kenny's out just a little bit wide. He's coming back across, and man, I tell you, situation where one guy coming down, the other, not a lot of room for either one of them.
Now, they ran a Southwest Tour race here yesterday, and that helped to cure in this brand new racing surface. You see outside the white concrete wall, there's about 2 to 3 raceable lanes where all of the rosin that Neil talked about that's been put onto this new asphalt to help cure it has all been blown off. But if you get outside those 3 lanes, out to where you see that what looks like gray dust out there, well,
Kenny Schrader took his car straight back into the garage here, and they're going to work on it right now. I'm sure he'll get back out, but that's such a bad break this early in the race.
you're riding with Mark Martin. He is the race leader here at Phoenix, Arizona after 5 laps. Time to play the Polaroid photo fake-out game. If you know what's wrong with this picture, and you're an astute Winston Cup and Busch Racing fan, you could win a trip to Daytona for the 500.
What's wrong with this picture?
Hi, I'm Shauna Robinson.
And I'm Aaron Tippett.
You've got to check out the Polaroid Captiva Photo Fakeout. If you send in the correct entry, you can win big. And one grand prize winner will win a dream trip for 2 to Daytona 500 and 2 nights at Captiva Island.
3 winners will win a 2-night trip for 2 to beautiful Captiva Island, Florida. And we'll go to dinner with you and a guest in Daytona.
And there's more.
Prizes include Polaroid Captiva cameras and Aaron Tippin's CD catalog, including his latest release, Call of the Wild. Race fans, if you can spot what's wrong with this picture, call 1-900-820-4TNN to enter. Each call costs 90 cents per call. No phone call is necessary to win. Or send your answer along with your name, address, and phone number to this address. This sweepstakes is brought to you by Polaroid.
You want to know the secret to choosing a motor oil? You wait till the sun goes down. You take a ride to your local garage and then get a real close look at what the mechanic puts into his own car. Fact is, more top mechanics in America choose Valvoline over any other brand. Valvoline can help keep cars on the road for 100, 200, 300,000 miles and more. So before you buy a motor oil for your car, know the one more top mechanics put into theirs. People who know use Valvoline.
Most of our customers come to AutoZone for low prices and for parts they can replace themselves. And many people come because we speak their language. Things like duration and lift and compression ratios, stuff like that. Because a guy who's going to rebuild an engine, he won't buy parts from just anybody. And since AutoZone stocks complete engines, we know what makes them tick inside and out. Sure, we sell our best parts at our best prices every day. But if we know something that's going to help you do the job right, you get that free.
1 lap ago, they dropped the green flag, and Mark Martin stepped out with the lead. Dick Trickle runs in 2nd. Bill Elliott is 3rd. Rusty Wallace is 4th. 5th is Sterling Marlin. Ricky Rudd in 6th. Ernie Irvin in 7th. Jeff Gordon in 8th. 9th is Dale Earnhardt. 10th, Chuck Bound. 11th is Brett Bodine. 12th is Rick Mast. 13th, Dale Jarrett. 14th is Harry Gant. 20th place, Kyle Petty. On the move just ahead of Morgan Shepherd there and closing in on Jimmy Spencer. Kyle started back at 27th. He picked up 7 positions before the first caution flag.
Well, after that ride out here on that Harley from North Carolina, you'd think this thing feels good to him today.
And he's going to ride it home.
I'd ride it home in the back of that truck. Quite a ride.
Kyle and Harry Gant rode out here on Harley-Davidson's from North Carolina. From the hood ornament cam on Jimmy Spencer's car. Looking on ahead. That is Jeff Bodine just ahead. And here up front, Mark Martin steps it out.
I'll tell you what, going down in turn 1, you see Rusty Wallace right behind Bill Elliott. Rusty got up beside Bill. He's really wanting to get up there and get those points for leading the race. And going down in turn 1, Rusty had the count on him. Bill pulled him up off turn 2. As they enter this corner, it seems like the 2 car can lay right down there on that line. Lap before he got under Bill a little bit up off this corner. Not quite able to do it now.
Well, that was the key for Rusty last week at Rockingham. You saw it live on TNN. He can run right down the bottom.
Spencer broke up close to the wall.
Got a little out in that loose stuff. Lost a couple of spots. There's the battle as Wallace looks underneath Elliott, who looks underneath Dick Trickle for 2nd place. Elliott again sweeps the nose underneath. May have trickle this time in the back straightaway. Certainly got the room on the bottom. Makes the pass.
That's what's so good about this racetrack. When you say room, Mike, we talked about the area they've got worked out. There's two pretty raceable lines. And before the day's over, it's probably going to widen out even more. They cut that rosin off the top, so that's just good racing.
Let's get out of pit road. Here's Ralph.
You see the crew working on Kenny Schrader's car. Kenny, what happened?
It got run into. It got turned around.
Simple racing accident?
No, you can call it whatever you want. You know, just we're crashed. He's racing.
Obviously, a very disappointed Kenny Schrader.
Well, one reason for that, Ralph, is Schrader is 6th in the points, but he is only 37 points ahead of 8th place. And that Winston Cup payout goes all the way down the line, and Schrader, that may have been a $30,000 to $40,000 crash for Schrader when the points total up. Trouble, turn 1, turn 2. Sterling Marlin stopped in turn 2, and one car, Lake Speed, spins way up in turn 2 as Jeff Bodine is against the wall between 1 and 2. That was about a three-way accident. Sterling spun 360 degrees and got going again. And Jeff Bodine got the worst of it.
Yeah, he's got a lot of damage. He's trying to get himself out of the racing groove with the traffic coming. Good job, just backed it down out of the way.
Short day of racing and a long flight home.
Boy, I'm telling you, he is not a happy camper. Look at this.
I got a feeling he's going to go out there and talk to somebody when they come by. Oh, me. See if we can tell what happened here.
There's Sterling loose. Looks like he and Irvin might have made a little contact. There's so much going on, it's going to be hard to tell you everything that happens here. Sterling starts, and everybody starts slowing up, and I think it was just chain reaction behind there.
That happened at turn 2. Bodine hit the wall at turn 1.
Here we go. We'll see what happened.
Watch Bodine, a white car. Yep.
Red car right in behind him there. 27 car, Bud Strickland.
Yep, he got in
they
the back
stacked
of
up,
him.
he got in the back of him, sent him sailing up through there.
Now, everybody there were on the brakes for Sterling's spin.
Yeah, you see up front, there's the car spinning. Well, that's what stacked them up behind there. They saw that. The drivers start throwing their hands up, getting on the brakes, and chain reaction, just like you said, and the 7 car's right up in the wall.
There's the 15 car left side of your screen. Got around, he and Harry Gant got together.
Wow, look at Steve Grissom almost got right in the side of the 15.
There's Marlin, a full 360. Ricky Rudd and Jeff Gordon had to do quite a job to get away from that.
Looked like the 8 and the 28 were the initial problem on the racetrack, and then it just got worse from there.
I think we better explain. Steve Grissom is driving the Diamond Ridge number 29 today, and he's doing quite a good job, and he paid for his ride just then by missing the race.
Got a good qualifying run.
Yes, he did.
Now, when you're the car owner and the driver, you stay a little bit longer and help them instruct how to load it.
Right. Second caution of the day here at Phoenix International. We will be right back.
Next week on TNN Country News, country celebrations for Garth Brooks and Sammy Kershaw. Plus, Tanya Tucker shows her stuff on stage.
TNN Country News, weeknights.
Attention race fans. After over 4 years serving Tidewater, Victory Lane Race Fan Store will close its doors on December 31st, 1993. So we are having a 60-day total sellout on everything in our store. In the next 60 days, save 10%, 25%, and 50% on all remaining merchandise. That's right, just in time for Christmas. Get your race souvenirs at a great price, but shop early for best selection. All sales are cash or credit card, and all sales are final.
Are you ready for a revolution? Are you ready for a musical revolution? Are you ready to have the music from tens of thousands of CDs like these right in your home? Introducing Digital Music Express. Now, we know you've never heard anything like DMX, so if you want to hear more, tune into the station and time below and meet 8-time Grammy winner David Foster. He's got a lot to say about DMX. So if you love music, tune in to the revolution.
Up on the hillside, turn 3 and 4 here at Phoenix. Some fans enjoying the race. Wonder if they have cable up there. Jeff Bodine's car is on the rollback. And one race in one lap will go. Watch, see if there's initial contact here between Urban's black car and the blue car of Sterling Marlin.
Okay, it looks like Sterling's right behind there. We're losing picture just a little bit, but what he did is checked up just a little bit to try to get under Trickle, and the 28 car was right behind him, and I just made very little contact there. Nothing intentional whatsoever, but it turns the 8 car around.
Check on the right side of your screen this time. Different angle. Yep.
A little bit of contact right there. It looks like he's turning down under 41 like Buddy's talking about. It doesn't take both of you make a commitment on the floor by that corner. One of you lift, you're going to nail it.
Third crash for Jeff Bodine since becoming an owner driver 6 races ago. He got caught up in wrecks at Dover, in North Wilkesboro, and today here at Phoenix. A very expensive entry into car ownership for Jeff Bodine. Right now, Rusty Wallace in 3rd, Dale Earnhardt in 11th as we get ready to restart. Mark Martin's your leader, Bill Elliott 2nd, 2 Fords and a Pontiac. Check that, Wallace in 2nd, Elliott in 3rd. Excuse me.
Yeah, Wallace, if he's right there 2nd, you can bet he's going to be going after that lead. He'd like to get some of that lead bonus early if he can.
Last week at Rockingham, Rusty did not lead until halfway.
He's going to earn it. If he passes Mark Martin on this racetrack, he's going to have to do more than what he's doing right at the moment. But you can guarantee one thing. Rusty Wallace never gives anything but 100%.
Well, there's Mark out a little bit wide. Yep. It gives Rusty that opportunity to get up under him coming off the corner. He did lead that lap. Well, to score, and they scored right here at the line.
And you're riding with Mark Martin, who's going to come right back for it out of turn number 2. Might he have extended a little courtesy to Rusty?
You know, both of them have raced ASA together. They're good friends, and that might have been a little courtesy deal there. 5 points, thank you.
Now, you may say showing favoritism, helping him lead. I don't think so. If he lets Rusty lead a lap, that gets Rusty off his butt and harassing him to try to lead a lap.
And I'll tell you something else. If Dale Earnhardt gets up there, he'd do the same thing for him.
Most likely.
Yeah, you can see once he led that lap, Rusty's right back in it behind him. So, you know, good move on both of them.
Here comes Irvin underneath Dick Trickle. Let's check with Ralph.
Surveying the damage of his race car is Jeff Bodine. Jeff, what happened?
Got run into. There's an accident ahead of us, I guess, going into 1 and 2, and my spotter said accident. I just slowed up a little bit. Actually, I was just going into 1, and I guess it was Hutch Strickland behind me just ran into me. You know, you don't do those things on purpose, but it was pretty stupid. You know, no one else ran into each other, and I guess he just wasn't listening to his spotter. He didn't say anything or wasn't watching, but, you know, it's just such a shame. Wrecked my car this early in a race. It doesn't seem right, but those things happen. It's part of racing.
Jeff Bodine hoping to get a lot more TV time today than he did, hoping to attract a major sponsor for his team for next year. Having a look at Kyle Petty here just in front of Hutch Strickland. Big news on that team. We'll fill you in a little bit later. But Kyle started back in 27th, and he's now in the top 15. Mark Martin leads it by 2 car lengths over Rusty Wallace, and I think that was a smart move on Mark's part. You got a guy that needs those 5 points, and he might get hungrier than you'd want him to be, and you get yourself in trouble. Rusty got to lead a lap. Now Mark goes right back in front, sets the pace. Sharp maneuver. We're back with Chuck Bound in 39, the Rulo Brothers pedigree dog food car. Harry Gant, the Skull Bandit, and Kyle Petty is right with him in the mellow yellow Pontiac. That battle for 13th place. Let's move up a few spots here to Dale Jarrett. Leading Ricky Rudd, Dale Earnhardt, and Bobby Labonte. Labonte, whose crew changed engines this morning in the Bill Davis Maxwell House Ford. Trying to overhaul Jeff Gordon for Rookie of the Year honors. He's had some strong top 10 finishes. Right now, Rusty Wallace in a position to pick up 17, or minus 17 right now. As things sit, Wallace in 2nd, and Earnhardt back at 11th.
There's Ricky Rudd trying to get up under Dale Jarrett. They repaved this track, and that outside lane is so good. When you turn under a guy, it's not a big advantage because they get such a good bite on the outside of the racetrack. But you see Rudd, he's really being persistent right there, trying to get under Jarrett. Here he is up beside him off of that corner.
And we're seeing a not all that aggressive Dale Earnhardt in these first few laps.
Maybe after that thing at the first of that race, he's kind of weighing out. He doesn't need to take those chances.
Neil, I think you're right. I mean, you know that Earnhardt likes Schrader. They're good friends off the radio. Oh, boy. They got together a little bit there, and Earnhardt got sideways. But I'm sure in the back of his mind, he's saying, I got to be a little more careful and not get myself wrapped up into something. I said that he almost took himself out.
Looked like Dale Jarrett came down the racetrack trying to square off the corner. Got into the side of Earnhardt. Let's show you that again.
Up under the inside right there.
I tell you, the 3-car come up that time.
Yeah, look like the back end's coming out. He drove right up into it there and really lost the rear.
Now here's Kyle Petty underneath Earnhardt. And Chuck Bound. Looks like Chuck got a little corner of that bumper there. And here comes Hut Strickland down the inside, and Bobby Labonte making a run at Dale Jarrett.
See Darrell Waltrip moving up quite a bit. He qualified fastest second-day qualifier, but he's up in the big boy hunt now.
Well, when they come off that corner there, it looks like they're 3 and 4 wide. Well, they almost are. That's where that dog leg's at. You come off the corner, and everybody just spreads out. Then they got to get at least double mile down in turn 3.
Tight pack of cars for Earnhardt to be playing in. You can't let them go by.
I don't think they got the car like they need it to be right now at this time because he wouldn't be dropping back. His trademark is going to the front. If he's losing this much ground early, he's going to have trouble before the day's over if they don't get that thing sorted out.
Hut Strickland's had a good run today. He's come from 28th on the grid up to 14th in the McDonald's Ford. He looks under Earnhardt, who dives under Jarrett.
I tell you, Jarrett's car is really strong down the straightaway. Earnhardt finally got under him there.
We just picked up a radio transmission that said his car's pushing. Buddy, that's part of the while ago when you said he came up the track and got in the side of Jarrett. Gets back in the throttle and the car wants to go straight.
Okay, we'll elaborate on that a little bit. What he did is started pushing the front end. He backed off to make it quit pushing and turned the back around on it. And that loads and puts all the weight on the front wheel.
You're watching from the hood ornament of Jimmy Spencer's car. Up to Darrell Waltrip as Spencer looks underneath the Western Auto Chevy. Wasn't much underneath there, was there?
How much camera have we got stuck out there?
In practice, let me tell you, Darrell Waltrip had one of the fastest, not the fastest car in practice, and just missed the lap. Almost lost it qualifying, but he's had a real quick race car all week.
Kyle Petty chasing Bobby Labonte just ahead of that group. That's for 10th place. As Spencer completes the pass underneath Dale Jarrett. Harry Gant moving up. Michael Waltrip right behind Gant. Good close battling here from 15th spot back. We asked Jack Roush about his 1994 plans with Mark Martin. Here are those.
Well, we plan to run 2 Western Cup cars, of course, with our greatest enthusiasm. Valvoline will be back with Mark. We've got a new sponsor that we hope to announce at Atlanta for Ted Musgrave. Winn-Dixie will be back with our Busch Grand National car. We're talking to some people about sponsorship for a Busch Grand National short program for Ted, like the one we have for Mark with Winn-Dixie.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Bonfire! You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love drives a man insane. You broke my wheel, what a thrill. Doesn't this raise a great ball of fire?
Bosch Platinum, the ultimate spark plug.
This is friction. Metal grinding on metal. Friction can wear your engine down. Friction can shorten its life. This is Pennzoil, the friction-fighting motor oil that protects more engines than any other motor oil in America. choose Pennzoil. Use Pennzoil, and you'll get quality engine protection in each and every drop. Pennzoil. Performance, protection, quality.
While everyone talks about how racing technology makes their street cars better, there isn't a car company today that brings more race-winning technology to the street than Chevrolet.
TNN viewers have come to know Race Day as their same-day source for motorsports highlights and news. This is Pat Patterson. Be sure to join us tonight at 8:30 when we'll have highlights of many of the day's big events. Don't wait for tomorrow's paper to find out what happened today. Watch Race Day tonight right here on the Nashville Network.
Race Day, second edition, 8:30 p.m. Eastern today on TNN Motorsports.
Caution is out here at Phoenix for oil in turn number 2 from Dirk Stevens' engine. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett in the Earnhardt pit.
Well, we're expecting a chassis adjustment. Richard Childress has the wrench, and yes, he is going to the left rear. Obviously, they'll change all 4 tires. The car was pushing. Crew Chief Andy Petrie told me he was just pushing too bad. That's what caused Dale to get loose those couple times. Had the wheels cut too much trying to get it to turn down the racetrack. Broke the back end loose. They have got the right sides off. They're on the lefts now. The chassis adjustment is made, so hopefully Dale will find the car more to his liking when he gets back up to speed.
It is, however, a pretty lengthy pit stop for Earnhardt as these things go. And he'll be well deep in the pack when they get back to green. Robert Yates' crew, Larry McReynolds' group, had the fastest pit stop, so Ernie Irvin will be the race leader if all the rest of the cars decide to pit. There is Dirk Stevens.
Put on a lot of oil coming off turn 2. Didn't have any choice. Could have to put a little bit of oil dry down on it.
Well, Neil, you know, on a flat racetrack like this, it don't take much. Look at this tire laying out here in the middle of pit road where all the cars go out. This guy said, shut up. Yeah, I'll go.
Take those tires off and set them down, and occasionally one of them will get punted out there into the pit lane. No apparent damage.
Look at the people on the hills here watching the race. They don't have grandstand seats. They're up on the hill up here.
Kind of looks like Watkins Glen or Lime Rock Park or Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, where you sit on the hillsides instead of in the grandstands. That's all. Of course, that's unreserved seating up there. General admission, kind of like a family area. Folks can drag their cooler up there, have a bit of fun. We'll be right back.
Robert, all we need here is some oil and we'll be ready to crank. Okay. Yes, get us suitcases. I have one.
Yes, sir, right away.
Robert, we're out. Get us suitcases and fly.
There's only one motor oil that Robert Yates Racing relies on for complete protection. Haviland Formula 3 from Texaco. The same Haviland Formula 3 you can use in your car.
That was quick.
Yeah, they had it right down the street.
Hey, we got 50.
It's really hard to explain. It'd be like a full-blown dinosaur screaming in your ear.
Oh. It just nails you in the seat, pushes you back and up so hard that you almost wonder if your neck's going to stay on it when it's really on a good run.
If you were sitting still at a stoplight and you got run into at 100 mile an hour by an 18-wheeler, that'd give you some kind of an idea of what it feels like.
Get ready. The NHRA Winston Finals today, live only on TNN Motorsports.
Every day, we all find a way. A promise made, a promise kept, giving it our best.
Napa, we're the most complete source for auto parts. And all Napa parts are backed by a nationwide warranty program. No wonder more Americans trust Napa to keep their vehicles running.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
Exclusive coverage of the Slick 5500 on the Nashville Network is brought to you by Napa. We keep America running. Behind the Z28 safety car, Ernie Irvin. Up to the front, rather Sterling Marlin up to the front, Dick Trickle Now the Mannheim car started on the outside pole. He's currently posted in 9th place according to our scoring rundown. And let's check in with Dick. Dick, this is Mike Joy up at TNN. Looks like you got off to a real good start there and having some fun out there.
For the Mannheim crew's really done a good job. We had to fix a little ricochet off the wall yesterday, and we just started out just a hair loose, but we're real close here.
All right, 1 to go. Good luck. We'll check with you later. Trickle having a good run here today. His plans for 94 are a little up in the air. A few things solidified and were announced here this weekend. We'll fill you in as the day goes on.
We're watching his 8 car, Sterling Marlin, leading the race. He spun just a few laps ago. He was one of the guys in that spin, so he had just pitted. He did not pit on this caution. This is the way he took the lead. Just a few laps ago, he came in and put those other tires on, so he's going to stay out.
A look at Dale Earnhardt, who after that lengthy pit stop posted in 16th position. Kyle Petty, who has come up to 8th spot from 27th on the starting grid. Marlin's the leader. Irvin is 2nd. Elliott 3rd. And this man, Mark Martin, rides in 4th. Getting set to go racing here. Boy, the restart all the way into the front straightaway here, not up in turns 3 and 4. And we are back under green.
Sterling Marlin's been running very well since the very start of this race today.
But for that one spin in turn 2, which apparently did no damage to the Ray Vestas Ford.
Yeah, he didn't lose a lap. He is the leader. Now he spun, but didn't lose a lap.
Here comes Elliott on the outside. There's Marlin way up the racetrack. Goodbye.
Yeah, you know, when those guys are sitting on new tires around you, and you've got some used ones, there's just almost too much edge you can overcome.
So now Mark Martin with onboard telemetry shows you what they turn for speed and RPM here at Phoenix.
You know, guys, that's a real camera that looks like what you see when you're racing a race car. That inboard camera there, I'm going to tell you, that roof cam is as close as you'll ever come to driving a race car yourself.
You know, I saw 87, 88 down the back. It shouldn't be as much down this front straightaway. It looked like 85, 86. The back straightaway, you get a little bit more RPM. Jack Rouse does not mind twisting those motors, that kind of RPM.
Loves to listen to that dyno hum.
Boy, that car, 28 car, is flying down the straightaway. He went to the outside, the inside. He's looking everywhere to try to get by Mark Martin right now.
Ernie Irvin is 8th in the points, just 28 back of Kyle Petty. He's looking for 5 bonus points right here. Earnhardt underneath Darrell Waltrip.
Boy, Darrell got to run up off that corner. About a half car length lead there.
13th place is this battle.
You know, just before the caution there, Earnhardt was losing ground, and the 17 car of Darrell Waltrip had passed him. So they've made an improvement on the 3 car now.
And Earnhardt begins his move forward. He is 13th. Rusty Wallace is 4th.
You know, Neil, that's the difference in a great crew and an average crew. A great crew will keep adjusting until they get that car as good as that driver can make it for the day.
Well, what teams hope for is they've got something good enough to start with, that you've got a close enough combination of springs and shocks and sway bars to where you can dial it in during the course of the day. If you've got the wrong basic pieces out there, you'll never get it straightened out. But it looks like they might have it where they can dial around with it all day.
He's passed Ricky Rudd in his next to last ride in a Hendrick Motorsports tied Chevy. Let's check with Glenn.
Well, we reported that Andy Petrie and the crew made an adjustment on Earnhardt's car. Andy, how has it affected it?
Well, we don't know yet. I hadn't talked to him, but we were pushing pretty good there to start with. We made an adjustment. We'll see how it does.
The car looks like it really gets the bike down low down here in 1 and 2.
Yeah, it looks pretty good over here. I don't know where we're losing time. We may be losing a little bit up there in 3 and 4, but we'll keep working on it.
Well, they're putting the clock on him, so they're keeping an eye on him. Ralph?
Buddy Barrett is the crew chief for Rusty Wallace. Buddy, you made some changes to Rusty's car. What'd you do? How's he running?
Well, we just made a little air pressure adjustment there on that one pit stop, and we had a great pit stop. We just got trapped in with the other cars coming in, and we had to be real careful not to bend any fenders. But Miller Genuine Draft car is really running great today, and how about you, Greg Wallace, be an armchair quarterback for us today? We really appreciate you meeting me out here.
There you see from Mark Martin on back to Ernie Irvin, Bill Elliott, and Rusty Wallace, the front four. Irvin has so far led 6 of 7 races since joining the Robert Yates team. Make that 7 of 8 races since joining Robert Yates.
You can see that Mark Martin moved out about 5 or 6 car lengths ahead of Ernie Irvin. Ernie's car is running great down the straightaway, but that 6th car is really getting around this racetrack. The corner speeds are phenomenal right now.
You know, it's not unusual to see all these Fords running up front. At Phoenix, the last 5 races, 4 of them have been Fords. So this track is really good for that manufacturer. They're getting the job done here today.
Kyle Petty continues to roll toward the front. Underneath the Quaker State Ford of Brett Bodine. And how about Rick Mabb? Moving along up there, started 13th. He's now up into 8th place. In the Skoll Ford of Richard Jackson. Petty closing in on Sterling Marlin.
Kyle Petty is really picking them up and putting them down right now. I imagine, like you said, Neil, if you rode a motorcycle from North Carolina out here, that race car probably feels pretty darn good.
The only thing, the quicker he gets through here, the quicker he's got to climb back on and go.
Sterling Marlin. Oh, Kyle.
Now, that's as close as you'll ever come to not wrecking and have it all the way. I've never seen a car switch that fast.
Well, right down there, coming off turn 4, this racetrack is pretty flat, but the apron actually inverts the opposite way. Looks like you hung that left front off on that flat part, buddy.
Well, I tell you what.
You know, that's one characteristic of the radial tire. The bias ply tire, you know, starts to go away, and you move a little, but the radial tire grips, bends, and then away it goes.
Yeah, it'll keep you on the edge of your seat all day, I promise you.
He was on the edge right now. Let's show it to you again.
Let's see if he gets that left front real close. Oh, just tried to cut it under him.
He was just a little bit out of shape, and it got worse and worse.
What happens is you turn that thing down, the front end of the stick, you lay that power down, open that throttle wide open, you bust those rear tires loose, and it's going to break it out of there.
Plus, the left side springs are so much softer than the right side. When you switch it back the other way, it unloads pretty hard.
Yep.
This race is 4 seconds behind the leader, and just behind it, Dick Trickle and Jeff Gordon are going at it. Earnhardt closing in. Mark Martin maintains a 2-car length lead on Ernie Irvin as we watch this race for 9th place. Trickle has it. Gordon wants it. Earnhardt's coming. Earnhardt was 16th on the restart. He's now 11th.
Car Jeff Gordon seems to be getting around this racetrack quite well.
Gordon taking a look on the inside of Trickle right there. That's what's so misleading about this track. You say, well, I'm under the guy. Well, that's good. Get under him, but you're not going to go by. They get such a good bite on that thing on that outside. The car just jumps off the corner.
Talk about a bite. Look at Earnhardt, how much he's closed in one lap on these cars. Neil, you look like you're flying till you get up about 3rd or 4th place, and then you hit a batch of cars that are running as good as you are, and look like you put the brakes on all of a sudden.
Yeah, see, this is the 24 and 41 of Trickle here with Jeff Gordon. They've been battling each other a little bit, and it's slowing both of them down some. And Earnhardt's really reeling them in, but catching them. Now the question is, can he get around them? These guys are working pretty hard.
Gordon looks on the high side of Trickle that time.
Well, just like with Gordon, he's trying to use some patience to work his way around the 41, but he looks in the mirror and sees the 3. He said, patience time is over. I got to go.
You know, this race is very important to Jeff Gordon's team, too. They've been in top 10 all year, and now they're trying to get back in the top 10.
Up toward the front, Bill Elliott runs in third, still looking for win number 1. We asked Junior Johnson, his car owner, about his plans for 1994.
Well, pretty much so. We're going to run the same 2 cars we ran this year, Budweiser and McDonald's, and Bill Elliott will be the number 11 driver, and right now it looks like Jimmy Spencer will be driving the 27 car.
Craftsman Tools, chosen the official tools of NASCAR, the official tools of NHRA, the official tools of IndyCar racing. Next time you need a tool, what tool are you gonna choose? 1,600 Craftsman hand tools, made in America, guaranteed forever.
You can count on me.
Only at Sears.
Wouldn't it be great if you were stranded on a desert island with a beautiful woman named Betty? Cool. And while scouting the island, you were suddenly surrounded. You! But then they noticed your shoes. You! Great one! Booga, booga! So they gave you gifts. Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Specially lined for really smooth. Bottle be a taste in can! Quitting time! Wouldn't that be great? Happy birthday, Cousin Dave!
What's this?
We're here for your birthday party!
That's next week.
Oh, Ed. Does that mean there's no food?
There's a Wendy's nearby.
Now you're talking.
Everything on Wendy's super value menu is 99 cents each. Freshly made salads, hamburgers hot off the grill, chili, delicious food you can only get here. Plus, for $1.99, get a hamburger kids meal.
Happy birthday! Look, we're twins!
Great.
Wendy's, you don't pay more, you just get more.
Everyone ready?
Hey, is that a Polaroid camera, Mr. Hinkle?
It sure is, Billy. It's my new Polaroid Captiva.
Looks cool. Can I have it?
No. Everyone smile and say Bunsen burner.
Cheese!
One more.
Where's the picture? I thought it was a Polaroid camera. Yeah.
One more.
Then where's the picture?
Introducing the new Polaroid Captiva. It's sleek, it's stylish. Its pocket-sized pictures stay in a special compartment till you take them out, so you're free to shoot and shoot.
Is this some kind of joke?
One more.
The new Polaroid Captiva. The pictures stay in.
One more.
Till you take them out.
Ray Vestas, best in break, has their helicopter-mounted camera high atop Phoenix International Raceway, bringing you these pictures of the battle for ninth place. Dick Trickle, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt. We've got our toll-free number in use today if you want to call up and ask any question you have about today's race in particular or about Winston Cup racing in general. It's a toll-free call, 1-800-451-7331. They'll take your questions in Nashville and forward them on to us here in Phoenix. We'll try to answer as many as we can, especially those that are pertinent to today's race. Once again, 1-800-451-7331. It's the free call.
We saw Jeff Gordon move the outside of Dick Trickle. Trickle gave him the room out there. 24 made the pass.
I think Trickle's having some problems or handling problems because he moved over and let both cars by.
Well, let's find out. Ralph Shaheen's in his pit.
Doug Richard is the crew chief for Dick. Are you concerned about anything with that car? How's he running right now?
Well, so far so good. After yesterday's excursion with the wall there in the last practice, we were able to lead a couple of the first laps, but the car went a little loose on us. We made some more adjustments during the pit stop. Right now, we're not quite as fast as the leaders, but there's no reason why the Manhunt Chevrolet can't be running up front towards the end of the race.
Now to Glenn Jarrett in the Sabco pit.
Well, Ralph, somebody else has made some improvements on their car, too. Robin Pemberton Kyle looks like he's really running well. The car must feel good to him.
Yeah, it's doing pretty good right now. It's we're just looking. It shows like it's tight, but he says it's pretty good. We got by a bunch of cars early, and that's going to help. We're about maintaining right now on Mark.
One more quick question. Give us an update on your brother, our broadcast colleague, I can't talk, your brother, Randy.
Randy's doing okay. He's in Carolina's Medical Center recovering from an operation on his back, and he's doing a lot better. He's going to be in there a couple more days. I'm going to get back there quick as I can to agitate him. I'd like to say hello to Brian Briggs and Lisa, too. I'll be back there to irritate you all here pretty soon.
Okay, Randy, hurry back. We miss you.
Thanks, Glenn, and that's sentiment from all of us here at TNN. Kyle Petty is irritating a lot of the cars in this field. At lap 10, he was 20th. He's up to 5th. Started back in 27.
I tell you, it's good to hear that Randy's doing better. He works with us in the pits all the time, and he went in supposedly for kind of minor surgery, and it got a little more complicated, and he's had a lot of trouble with it. Hopefully that thing's behind him now, and he'll be coming around.
Hope so. Kyle is in 5th. Let's go back up front. Mark Martin. Does he know any other way to run that car than wide, flat open all the time?
I can tell you, he's running very, very hard right now with 28 cars right there with him. This is a real tight race, the first 3 cars.
The last 6 Winston Cup races have all been won by Rusty Wallace and Ernie Irvin. 4 for Rusty, 2 for Ernie. And since mid-June, only 4 drivers have been in victory lane. Rick Mast and Jeff Gordon behind Brett Bodine here. 7th place at stake. There's Earnhardt. I knew he couldn't be too far out of the picture.
Yeah, but you see Jeff Gordon's pulling away from him.
Trouble, turn 4. Up and into the wall goes Jimmy Hensley in the Morgan McClure Kodak car. Yellow is out.
Man, that's a shame. I was really hoping he'd have a good ride today.
He has a good ride for next year. He'll replace Ted Musgrave in the Jasper Engines US Air Ford. Didn't see if there was contact. He just went into a snap spin, spun around, and got up and into the concrete. I don't believe there was contact with another car.
I know one thing. He got up in the air. He got in that wall pretty hard. The car jumped up in the air. Looks like some liquid coming out of the front. It must have busted the radiator also. He's going to crank it off, but he's got too much damage.
4th caution of the day here at Phoenix International Raceway for Jimmy Hensley. Up in turn number 4. He's going to drive it to the garage. We'll be right back.
Next Sunday on TNN Motorsports. Okay, how about some service? Fill her up and give me a new set of tires. Come on, I'm in a hurry here. It's the World Championship Pit Crew competition next Sunday on TNN Motorsports.
Presenting Digital Music Express for Business. 30 channels of CD quality music without interruptions 24 hours a day. The music your customers and employees want to hear. We have formats to fit every business and office environment. From rock to jazz, reggae to country, classical to dance. For more information, contact Michael Donahue at Newport News Cablevision, 595-9874. Digital Music Express for Business. Someday every business will sound this good.
You probably have a good idea of what to do with old tires. But when you need new ones, no matter what you drive, it's a good idea to go to Pep Boys. They'll help you choose from a huge selection. Michelin, Uniroyal, BF Goodrich, and Cornell. And have you on your way in under an hour with a low price guarantee. So for tires that'll give you a lot of miles and then some, come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
Scanning the mountains here at Phoenix International. Very picturesque racetrack in quite a different way than the tracks on the East Coast. Sagebrush, saguaro cactus. It's a different look. It's a neat part of the country.
Mike, just a few years ago, the racetrack was cactus and stuff. You know? And let me tell you what, Buddy Job and that group that owned this racetrack out here, all the people with them, they've done a tremendous job the last few years. As nice a racetrack as we go to, tremendous job building this place up.
Now, 1 lap down cars are coming onto pit road this time, and Jeff Gordon will be the race leader when we go back to the restart.
They had a great pit stop, but as Neil pointed out, a lot of these cars are getting caught up in the pits here, and the people pitted at the far end down there getting an advantage on stops.
We saw that yesterday in the Southwest Tour race. We watched some of the Winston West drivers making their pit stops here. Now, here's Rusty Wallace's pit right at the start-finish line. Pit road at Phoenix is very wide, and it extends way down toward turn 1 like at most tracks, but it also extends around the corner past the 76 ball. There are about 4 or 5 pits way down there, and it does seem, Buddy, that some of the cars that pit down around the corner don't get caught up in the traffic coming out of the pit stall like Buddy Parrott talked about, and are going to be a little further up in the running order when they come back out.
The second car in that picture is Kenny Schrader. They've made the changes on that car, and he's back in the event now.
Took him 41 minutes.
Let's go down and see if we can talk to Mark Martin. Mark, this is Neil Bonnet, TNN. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hey, Neil.
I tell you what, you're back to your old tricks, just blowing them sideways out there. We've been looking over your shoulder. I know TAC's ringing some big numbers up there.
Yeah, car's working real good. I'm proud of these boys in the pits. They got me a good pit stop there, and everything's rolling along nice. But we got you got Ernie running real good, Kyle and 3 or 4 others. It's early in the race. A lot of things can happen yet.
Some of the guys were talking about a little bit of oil on tracks. It feel pretty good to you?
Track's great. We didn't need that caution before this one. There was a little bit of oil on the inside of the racetrack, but it wasn't where we were running, so it was a safety thing to get it cleaned up, but we really didn't need it that bad.
Doing a great job, Mark. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ken Schrader was in the garage area for 41 minutes making repairs, but he's back out.
You know, did you hear Mark Martin talking about Kyle Petty's running well? The spotters told him that's next to the fastest car on the racetrack. Keep your eye on him.
That's right.
Yeah, because a good caser, Mark Martin hasn't seen Kyle Petty since his race started, but he knows who's the next fastest car.
That's it. Let's go down to Rusty's pit. Here's Ralph.
As far as the pit stops for Rusty Wallace, the crew is not slower. The problem is, as he tries to get down pit lane, there are so many cars on the lead lap that he gets hung up in traffic as he makes his way down pit lane. Glenn?
Well, Ralph, in Earnhardt's pits, they did make another chassis adjustment, one more round of wedge out, a slight air pressure adjustment. They said the last time they did it, it did improve the car. They're hoping for the same improvement this time. Mike?
Thanks, Glenn. We're getting ready to go back to green. Well, not this time, by. Going to be a lap or so of caution here. Jimmy Spencer's team is in. And you look at that new right front tire, you can see the sticker on the tread of the tire. The Goodyear sticker, that'll come off in about a lap or two. Get worn right off there. And, well, they found places to put decals we never thought they'd go. Upper control arm all over the place.
Happy birthday, Mom, down there. We always tell them they put the sticker tires on. That's exactly, look at the oil dry blowing up off the track. He heads back out there where they put that oil dry down the back straightaway.
And here's how they're running after 76 laps. That's Jimmy Spencer's 3rd pit stop under this caution flag. We'll update you on that and other stories when we come back to Phoenix.
Cold filter, another genuine draft. For those who discovered its smooth draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
But now I'm a man, way past 21.
Safety is something we all think about. Buick has considered the subject from many angles. So for frontal impacts, Buick Regal offers a driver's side airbag. And for side impacts, Regal meets 1997 government safety standards right now. 3 years in advance. Why has Buick put so much into Regal? Because you put so much into Regal. Regal from Buick, the new symbol for quality in America.
When you're a child on wheels, it seems like there's always someone or something there to stop you. But when you're an adult, you can't always depend on that. Which is why it's nice to know that no matter what you drive, import or domestic, you can depend on Pep Boys for the best brakes at the best price. And people who understand that there will always be times when you need someone to rely on. So when you need brakes, come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
Robert, all we need here is some oil and we'll be ready to crank. Okay. Jeff, get us suitcases. I have one. Yes, sir, right away. Robert, we're out. Get us suitcases and fly.
There's only one motor oil that Robert Yates Racing relies on for complete protection. Haviland Formula 3 from Texaco.
That was quick. Yeah, they had it right down the street.
The same Haviland Formula 3 you can use in your car.
Get a free Burger King meal when you buy a case of Haviland Formula 3. But hurry, a deal this tasty can't last long.
You're looking at the right front suspension on Jimmy Spencer's car, and things have changed a little bit there. He's made a couple of pit stops as we get 1 lap to go racing. And here is what they did.
We saw some debris flying a while ago. It was brake fluid. They've got a caliper bad. The guy right here is taking the brake line totally loose off the caliper, and it looked like he plugged it, buddy, like he took it off and left it loose and capped it.
Well, Neil, you know what'll happen there. When he puts the brakes on, the left front will lock up almost, and it'll make that car really drive bad.
And a tough break for Spencer, and as you heard Junior Johnson say, Spencer goes into the seat of the McDonald's Ford for next year, the number 27 car. Hut Strickland moves over to a brand new race team owned by Travis Carter that will get parts and rent shop space from Junior Johnson. And we'll show you a look at that brand new team a little later on today. Now, the number 12 car, Bobby Allison Racing, that Spencer drives right now, at present, has no driver and does not have a confirmed sponsor for next year. One of several teams in that situation.
Mike, we got Jeff Gordon leading the race right here. He changed 2 tires. We've been seeing everybody go with 4. This is the first time we've seen somebody try a 2-tire change. We'll have to see if it works out.
13th race that Jeff Gordon has led this year.
Well, I'm sure they're looking at track position more than anything else. If they lose a few spots from the start here, at least they're further up in the racetrack than they were when they're back in their 14th, 15th spot.
He's not going to lead for long. He drops down to the inside to shut off Mark Martin, but Martin's going to dive it in anyway in turn 3.
Yeah. 4 new tires will outrun 2 new ones anytime. They must have been going for track position like Buddy was talking about. What you got to do if you're Jeff Gordon, you got to run as hard as you've ever run for 4 or 5 laps till those other guys' tires get hot, and hope you're still right there in there with them.
You can see his car is about a half a lane higher than Mark Martin.
Trouble in one.
Andretti. That's Andretti down there, 72
right.
car.
John Andretti had a top 10 here in the IndyCar race at Phoenix with the Harris Teeter car of Billy Hagan. And John will drive that car for the next few seasons. It's in the fence. Back to the flag. Martin will lead with a caution. Rusty picks up a spot. No, he doesn't on Harry Ginn.
He got in that wall pretty hard. Came back down right in the racing groove.
There were a lot of cars in very close contact there when that one got started. Looks like a gremlin there, buddy.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, he made that. It was Harris Teeter before, now it's just Harris.
Boy, one of the cars right up in that loose stuff with him. And take a look like that, they play devil getting that thing straightened back out and ready to go again.
Look at these guys, what a driving job.
Whoa,
here.
look at Labonte. Terry Labonte got hit in the front and the rear and turned sideways going through that opening. We see Kenny Schrader right there. He's back out on the racetrack.
I bet Steve Grissom says everything that happens today is going to happen in front of me. He just barely missed that wreck then.
It has so far. Grissom in the Diamond Ridge Racing car, number 29. Fifth caution flag. Pace car has led the most laps today? Not quite. We've had 20 laps of caution so far. We're
Elmo's in 14th.
Yes. Okay.
See, that does say Harris, just like I told you.
You're right. And there's a new logo on some of the records servicing the NASCAR races and a new program NASCAR announced today, the NASCAR Advantage Road Service Plan. Emergency towing, jump starts, tire changes, and they promise you pit stop-like service and response. And it's available to all NASCAR race fans. And there's a lot of extra benefits as well. It's a brand new plan called the NASCAR Advantage, and they have a toll-free number to get a membership application. It's 1-800-41-NASCAR to get all the information. Pit stop-like service.
Turn this to Jimmy Spencer.
Get it? John Andretti, in 4 Winston Cup starts this season, has been involved in 3 crashes in North Wilkesboro, Rockingham, and here at Phoenix. Tough start.
Okay,
Buddy?
I'm going to try to get Jimmy Spencer on the radio. Jimmy Spencer, this is Buddy Baker, TNN.
Buddy, how you doing? We have a bad thing today. We lost a caliper in the right front. We have no brakes. We have eliminated the right front caliper, and the guys are going to try to fix it now. Feel real bad for the Meineke race team. You know, we had a good car today. Really thought we had a shot at winning this race, and now we're just going to try to get in and get the brakes fixed so we can at least have a good finish over.
Well, I hope they can fix it. It's good talking with you, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's correct. Spencer is 1 lap down. I believe we reported him as 2. He lost 1 lap with that minute and 30-second stop. And now he cuts to pit road to try to get repairs made. Rick Wilson and Ken Schrader are also in the pit lane. There are 30 cars on the lead lap of the 43 starters. Jeff Bodine's in the garage as a result of a crash. Dirk Stevens has lost an engine. There is the right front on Spencer's car, and it goes behind the wall to complete repairs. You know, the first time we used this suspension cam, we we shouldn't say this. Nobody's going to want it anymore. But the first time we used it was at Rockingham, and the only car that hit the wall all day was Mark Martin. Hit it with the right front, right where the camera was. Where does Jimmy have trouble? Right where the camera is.
But this is a smart thing they're doing.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
taking the car behind the wall, because here you used a lot of brakes getting in the third corner and a lot of brakes in the number 1 corner. And that thing with just one wheel brake on the front, it's almost impossible to drive.
But see, everything on these race cars is safety wired. He's got a set of cutters there cutting the wiring off. Every bolt on these race cars has got holes drilled in them, safety wire, so they got some work to do before they can remove it.
Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, I'm in Mark Martin's pits. We've been talking about how well Mark has been running, and it's somewhat of a surprise to you guys, Steve.
Yeah, we struggled all day yesterday, had a little engine trouble, and the car wasn't driving good. And we really thrashed on the car, and this morning we just got together and decided to do the best we could. You know, it's been a tough weekend. We need to maintain our spot in the points. And the panel of experts here at Roush Racing, we didn't figure we were going to do very good. I guess Mark's carrying us. We've had some good pit stops, and it looks good right now, but if you'd have told me we'd run this good 2 hours ago, I'd have laughed at you.
Okay, Ralph.
The Meineke crew working on the car. Crew chief Jimmy Klenick with the new caliper in hand, ready to put it on.
So Spencer will lose some more laps on pit road, and you are there.
If you wonder how big of brakes they are on these race cars, that thing's just about the size used on small aircraft.
Yes.
I mean, these things have some gigantic rotors, calipers, the pucks that go in the brake pads are tremendous size, and they're metal to metal. It's a carbon metal type brake pad, and they just turn cherry red.
And they're limited by the size of the wheel. We're going to stay yellow for a lap or two here. In IMSA racing, they've gone to 17 and even 18-inch diameter wheels to get bigger brakes underneath. But in NASCAR, they run a 15-inch wheel, so you get as much as you can underneath there.
You see the width of it right there.
That's a big, thick pad that goes in there. While Spencer's crew makes repairs, we'll take this break as we're under caution at Phoenix. We'll be right back.
For this guy, any deodorant will do. But these guys need Speed Stick. Antiperspirant that gives 110%, even if you don't. 24-hour protection against wetness. And now Speed Stick deodorant has a powerful new formula to fight odor. Speed Stick. For movers and shakers, the #1, the only one.
It's all about getting inside the real person on the path to stardom. You'll share in the memories, the laughter, the solitude, family, and the excitement as dreams come true on the path to stardom. Backed by a legacy of country music, you'd think it'd be easy for Carlene Carter to realize her dreams. Not so, says this sassy singer-songwriter, on the path to stardom. Monday on TNN. Brought to you by Cracker Barrel Old Country Store.
While everyone talks about how racing technology makes their street cars better, there isn't a car company today that brings more race-winning technology to the street than Chevrolet.
TNN Motorsports exclusive coverage of the Slick 5500 is brought to you by Chevrolet, inviting you to see all the new Chevy cars for 1994. They've just waved the green flag. We're back to racing. Jimmy Spencer's car still being repaired behind the wall as Mark Martin hauls them down into turn #1. Jeff Gordon and Ernie Irvin behind him.
There's Kyle Petty, the car that Mark Martin had some concern for, right there in 4th place and coming to the lead.
Just moving past Ron Hornaday Jr., the Southwest Tour champ at number 76. And Bill Elliott. And then Harry Gant working, imagine that, on the outside.
See Jeff Gordon there, he's battling for his life because he took on 2 tires and the other cars took on 4, but it kind of helped out when they had that caution there. It kind of brought the cars and cooled the tires where he's in pretty good shape now. Look at Kyle Petty come into play here.
A lot of smoke out of one car, turn 3. Looks like he's going to get it down to the apron, and very little slipping and sliding. Like Chase. Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt, for the first time today, are within eyesight of one another. Wallace is 7th, Earnhardt 9th. Mike Chase goes to the garage without incident.
Wallace is trying to get around Harry Gant. Earnhardt's trying to get around Sterling Marlin. They're both trying to get on up front.
Here's Glenn.
Well, Brett Bodine has been running in the top 10 all day. We find him behind the wall now. Brett, what's wrong?
Well, it looks like some kind of debris come up off the racetrack and put a cut in the bottom radiator hose, you know. Real tough break. This is the best showing we've had out here at Phoenix, and, you know, even with my injury and all, we were running up front, and it just felt real good to be up there running. Quicker, stay forward. We'll get them next time.
How does that new pavement feel?
I'll tell you, it's really great. A lot of great traction out there, and the race is real competitive.
Okay, Mike.
Brett Bodine behind the wall. As you saw Kyle Petty make the pass on Ernie Irvan. And here comes Earnhardt underneath Sterling Marlin. Rusty Wallace just ahead.
That's pretty impressive. 27th to 3rd already for Kyle Petty.
The other thing of Kyle getting the job. Now he's going around up to 2nd place. You see up front up there, going around. Right up under Jeff Gordon. When Mark got that call a while ago, the 42 was the next best car. They had a pretty good read on the situation. Here he comes.
We'll see him now straighten his rearview mirror about half a straightaway back.
Irvin's trying to take advantage of that inside line. There he goes. He's also made the pass.
You think all these cars are going to be painted black next year?
They can't do that, Doug.
Well, it's been the way to be up front.
Well, I know one that'll be a nice, pretty pink next year. Congratulations, Neil.
Thank you, buddy.
We look forward to watching you next year run some.
Yeah, can run a few races. Looking forward to it.
Neil's going to run 6 races in the Country Time car. They're going to run a limited schedule and start with the Daytona 500, and you're going to get to run at Indianapolis.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's a big thing. I wanted to go to Indy, so we put the program together. James Finch, some help with the 4-car and 3-car. We're going to see if we can run some races.
And the car is going to be pink lemonade?
Yeah, and I'll have me a little pink suit probably. I'll be ready one.
Oh, you're going to be so cute.
Oh, thank you.
You're going to look like the Energizer Bunny. They give you a pink suit.
I might get energized.
Here's your Napa Field standing update. Napa, we keep America running. Shows you where your favorite driver is at 90 laps.
Boy, Gant got outside a little bit, and Earnhardt and the 1-car Rick Mast went around him.
Jimmy Spencer was in the pits for 5 minutes, 52 seconds. He's now back on track.
There's Bill Elliott. He's going up on that 24-car himself. Right along with Rusty.
4th place at stake here. Mark Martin's lead on Kyle Petty diminishing a little bit. It's about 2 3/4 seconds.
Yeah, while they were battling, Mark got a big lead on him, but Kyle's whittling away at that thing.
I believe if you watch Jeff Gordon's car, he's having a little bit of handling problems. I bet he won't do that anymore. Even at the track position, he'll take on 4 when everybody else does.
Yeah, if you don't pay that price immediately, you pay it 30 or 40 laps along. Those tires get a lot more wear than the rest of the car. So if things go true to form, he should fade a little bit quicker than the rest of these cars.
Kyle Petty's knocking about 1/10 of a second a lap out of Mark Martin's lead. We'll pick up on that in a bit once he gets closer. For now, we'll stay right here. We're at 4th place. Jeff Gordon is holding off Bill Elliott for the moment.
See, that's what we're talking about this racetrack. There's Elliott. He got down there to try to get on that 24. Ooh, Rusty and him got together off that corner. He got down there to try to pass the 24, and the 2 almost got around him on the outside.
Yeah, he paid for that move. Sterling Marlin got up under Rusty and made the pass. Now there's Earnhardt up on the back of Rusty Wallace's car.
Report from Jeff Gordon's pit. He took on only 2 tires because they'd only run 8 laps since the previous caution, and he wanted to get out front quickly enough so he could lead a lap, pick up 5 points.
That's a good call on that point. They did exactly what they wanted to do.
Well, he's in 11th in the standings. He's only 10 points behind Ricky Rudd going into today's race, so they're counting bonus points here like everybody else.
Yeah, and you don't get to go to the banquet if you're not in the top 10, so he's working really hard to get to go to that banquet.
And Harry Gant's only 1 point behind him.
And everybody wants to be at center stage, but it's nice to be able to sit there and at least see the stage in that top 10.
That graphic we just showed you Right now, Rusty, who came into this race 70 points ahead of Earnhardt, would gain only 3. They finish in these positions. Here's Ralph.
This is a list of all the different sets of tires that Rusty Wallace has. These 3 over here are supposedly the best 3 sets they have. They'll save those for the later part of the day. This, in fact, is one of the tires from set number 8. This number right here is a batch number. They have pulled these 3 sets aside because they say this batch is the best of the bunch, even though all the compounds are the same. Now, Neil Bonnet, how different can one particular batch be over another if all the compounds are exactly the same?
Well, through the course of building all these tires, they come with the same, supposedly the same compound, the same tire number for every team. But when they'll find one set that'll run a little bit better, it's no different than somebody making a cake. One of them might taste a little bit better with the ingredients you put in it. For some reason, they think that batch came out better. They can't make all the tires at one time, so out of batch numbers, and they'll work with stuff like that.
It's also a rubber compound, and when it sits around for a month before they use it, sometimes it hardens up just a little bit more than a batch that's made a month later.
Just like that fresh cake, the one that's 2 months old. So these guys look for every angle they can to try to find a little bit of an edge.
While you guys are at work in the kitchen, Mark Martin's leading this race over Kyle Petty.
Well, he's got it cooking. What the heck?
Yeah, Kyle Petty, Ernie Irvin, and Bill Elliott. Harry Gant made a big announcement a few weeks ago about his plans for 1994 and beyond as Harry runs around Phoenix.
Well, the first plan is going to win a lot of races, but I'm going to be real busy in 94 with our farewell tour and appearances and everything. So that'll be my last year, and I'm going to be really busy. So we're looking forward to 94.
The average Grand Prix lasts but a few hours, unless it's a Grand Prix started with a genuine Delco Freedom battery. Delco's rated tops for taking the pole position in starting power and excelling in reserve capacity. Helps keep your engine in the race for a longer, more reliable life.
AC Delco. It's like buying time. Now through December 4th, get started with up to $14 cash back on Delco Freedom batteries.
This is the perfect time to try my new Polaroid Captiva. Smile!
Hey, where's the picture?
There's no picture?
Did you see the picture come out? How can that be a Polaroid camera if there's no picture?
It doesn't look like a Polaroid camera.
It's not a Polaroid camera.
Introducing the new Polaroid Captiva. It's sleek, it's stylish. Its pocket-sized pictures stay in a special compartment till you take them out, so you're free to shoot and shoot.
Maybe if you shake it.
Yeah, shake the camera.
The new Polaroid Captiva. The pictures stay in till you take them out.
How do you know which motor oil to buy? They all look alike. They feel alike. You can't see them working in your engine. Well, first you ask the people who know cars best. ASC certified master technicians. And then you ask them which oil they put in their own cars. More top mechanics use Valvoline than any other brand of motor oil. Valvoline can help cars go 100, 200, 300,000 miles and more. So before you buy oil for your car, know the one more top mechanics put in theirs.
People who know use Valvoline.
Elvira here, mistress of the dark and sometimes surfer babe, because Coors Light is the official beer of Halloween and the party's at the beach, Malibu Beach, where you can hang ten. Look, Frankie and Annette. And of course, when it's time to chill, just reach for that cooler of Coors Light. Aged ice cold, never frozen stiff. It's the right beer now for Halloween. Just look for the silver bullet smooth display and dig up your friends now for a party at the beach. Happy Halloween, dudes.
108 laps complete here at Phoenix. Mark Martin has a lead of 2.3 seconds. Next Sunday, the Patrick 500 from Hickory, North Carolina. For the second year in a row, TNN will televise the last scheduled Busch race of this 1993 season. However, we remind you that back in March, the Slick 5300 Atlanta was snowed out, and they will run that in conjunction with the Winston Cup race in a couple of weeks. But next weekend, we're live at Hickory for the last short track shootout of the Busch Series.
And talk about a shootout at Hickory. We were up there testing Tuesday, and they're running about 3/10 of the track record.
Wow.
With the new tires and everything. It's going to be quite a show at Hickory, and then right again in Atlanta.
Is David going to run there?
He's trying to. We were up there testing all week, and we get things organized.
Folks, David's his son. I'm talking like everybody knows everybody here, but David Bonnet's a pretty good race car driver. He's third fastest qualifier at Rocky Mountain.
Here's a pretty good little race car driver. Look at Elliott. He's got that thing on that 24, but he's, you know, all week long you could sense it with these guys. They're wanting to win a race. Not only want to, they need to.
That's it.
And, I mean, they're going for it today.
And it's a beer battle out of turn 2 as Rusty's right up on the back bumper of Elliott.
Which way do you go? Rusty's saying inside, outside. Looks like this inside will be a little bit better.
Yeah.
And now the 24 has a nice option to move back 3 positions.
Take 3 steps backward. This is 8 seconds behind the race leader, Mark Martin. Brett Bodine is back out onto the track after making repairs, as is Jimmy Spencer. They're going to move up on Loy Allen Jr. in the country time car. Drops that Ford down to the inside.
See Darrell Waltrip trying to get up under Earnhardt there.
I'm telling you, all week long, Waltrip has been a real stout race car.
He's been good here. Here's Jeff Gordon, who started 9th. You see his progression up and down the field. You talk about Waltrip, who's at the back of that pack. His last 4 finishes here.
Whoa, Sterling, you just about off the farm there, kid.
He tried to go inside the 24, but he hadn't cleared that car on the left yet. Hung that left rear quarter on him and about turned him around. You know, you try to thread that needle all the time, but sometimes you miss.
Yes. Now, Waltrip there was 3rd here last year. His last 4 finishes at Phoenix, 4th, 4th, 2nd, and 3rd. He is a contender here. Let's show you this again. Well, let's show you this. Here it is.
What's the 8 car? He's going to try to turn on the 24 and cut across in front of the 71 and get in that a little bit open. The 71's coming up a little bit. He's going to hang that quarter panel. Didn't look that bad in this angle, but straight on. He wiggled it pretty good off that corner.
That 71 is Terry Fisher, one of the West Coast drivers.
Look at Earnhardt sitting there saying, "Don't do this, man."
Yeah, that's a better angle.
Yeah, it looks a little bit different from that side.
Let's check with Glenn.
Well, with Ray Evernham, that's Jeff Gordon's crew chief, and Ray, the car seems to be backing up a little bit. Is it because of the decision to only change 2 tires, or you got a problem?
No, no problem. It's exactly what it is. We chose to take 2 tires. We needed to lead the race and hope for track position. Our car's pretty good on 4 tires. I think we'll be all right. We're going to slide back a little bit, but it's still early yet.
He's right. It's very early. He's got a lot of time to make up for that.
Rusty Wallace is back on the move. He had given up a spot to Sterling Marlin, but he has just passed Bill Elliott on the low side going into turn number 3. Move Wallace back up into 4th place behind Mark Martin, Kyle Petty, and Ernie Ehrman.
Well, he got a run off that corner, drove right by Elliott.
At Phoenix, 116 laps complete. And we'll be right back after this.
Next week on TNN Country News, country celebration for Garth Brooks and Sammy Kershaw. Plus, Tanya Tucker shows her stuff on stage.
TNN Country News, weeknights.
Are you ready for a revolution? Are you ready for a musical revolution? Are you ready to have the music from tens of thousands of CDs like these right in your home? Introducing Digital Music Express. Now, we know you've never heard anything like DMX, so if you want to hear more, tune in to the station and time below and meet 8-time Grammy winner David Foster. He's got a lot to say about DMX. So if you love music, tune in to the revolution.
Hi, I'm Randy Hutchinson, owner of Break King in Newport News, 74th Street and Jefferson Avenue. I've been advertising with Tidewater Cable Interconnect for over a year now. We've had great response from our customers.
Hello, I'm Stan Hester with Hampton Nissan in Hampton, Virginia. We've been utilizing Tidewater Cable Interconnect for the last 2 years, and it's worked very well for us.
To find out more about how your business can benefit from cable advertising, call Tidewater Cable Interconnect at 873-1366.
A fire on car number 86, Rich Woodland. Brings it down to a halt in turn 1. It caught fire at turn 4 after something let go in the engine, and he brought it down to a safe stop at the apron of turn number 1, and you can see he's going to climb out and okay be okay after a fiery ride down the front straightaway.
Exit stage left as
What
quick as
he's
possible.
doing right now, some of the belts are hung up. You see him trying to get out. He's okay, folks. It's just one of those deals. You get in a hurry when that thing gets warm.
Looks like radio gear and his drink tube and maybe the sternum latch up there on that shoulder harness. But he's okay.
Yeah, this thing really cuts loose coming off the corner, and that's got to be oil dropping on the headers. And there we go. It lights off. See a lot of sparks on there to set it off.
And look inside the car as he gets a little further down.
You know, that's when you appreciate the safety factor of the gas tank, the rubber bladder and all that we use for a gas tank.
A lot of smoke coming out of that cockpit of that car. They try to seal them up as best they can, but
a lot of times when you have that much fire under a car, the floorboard itself will catch on fire, the paint on the floorboard.
They used to have a rubber shifter boot on these cars until a fellow named Neil Bonnet went to Bill Simpson and said, we need one out of Nomex so we don't get flame up through that shifter hole.
Yeah, I had one at Daytona catch on fire, and that shifter melted in about 2 seconds.
Let me tell you, if anybody ought to know, Neil ought to know. He had everything happen, folks.
All right. Well, thank you, buddy. I'm a test man.
I guess we won't tell you that was the National Cold Storage car that caught all fired up there. I saw it. We won't tell you that.
Now, look, see, here's Rusty.
Rusty
Close coming out of the pits.
And that's just what Buddy Parrott was talking about. He's coming out as other cars on the lead lap are coming in.
It's no secret that 2 car has been just killing everybody in the pits, beating them, but where they're having to stop, it's not helping them a bit today. They're losing time down pit road.
Well, he did get out in front of Mark Martin, though.
Yeah, but Kyle Petty was right in front of him.
That's right.
Not quite in the shot. And Kyle was the guy that he was concerned with, that Mark Martin was concerned with, and Kyle beat him out.
Neil, what brand of car are you run next year?
Run Chevrolets next year.
What Larry from Michigan wanted to know.
Yeah, we're going to get some stuff from the 4-team and the 3-team, see what we can do with it.
Boy, oh boy, that's a bad pantry to go to.
Oh, yeah. Look at Childers rared back here. He said, man, we got to get this thing going a little bit.
Bit of speedy dry down the front straightaway. We'll show you a top 10. And we'll ask you again if you can identify what's wrong with the picture the Polaroid folks are going to show you and see if you can win a trip to the Daytona 500 or a 2-night trip for 2 to Captiva.
What's wrong with this picture?
Hi, I'm Shauna Robinson.
And I'm Aaron Tippett.
You've got to check out the Polaroid Captiva Photo Fakeout. If you send in the correct entry, you can win big. And one grand prize winner will win a dream trip for 2 to Daytona 500 and 2 nights at Captiva Island.
3 winners will win a 2-night trip for 2 to beautiful Captiva Island, Florida. And we'll go to dinner with you and a guest in Daytona.
And there's more.
Prizes include Polaroid Captiva cameras and Aaron Tippin's CD catalog, including his latest release, Call of the Wild. Race fans, if you can spot what's wrong with this picture, call 1-900-820-4TNN to enter. Each call costs 90 cents per call. No phone call is necessary to win. Or send your answer along with your name, address, and phone number to this address. This sweepstakes is brought to you by Polaroid.
Robert, we're ready. Okay. Got it warmed up? Yeah.
Before a Robert Yates engine makes it to the track, it's torture tested right here.
Well, let's do it.
And there's only one motor oil Yates relies on for complete protection, Haviland Formula 3. The same Haviland Formula 3 you can buy right off the shelf.
215 degrees, 8,700. That's race ready.
Haviland Formula 3 motor oil from Texaco.
Running like a winner. That'll get the job done.
The average Grand Prix lasts but a few hours, unless it's a Grand Prix started with a genuine Delco Freedom battery. Delco's rated tops for taking the pole position in starting power and excelling in reserve capacity. Helps keep your engine in the race for a longer, more reliable life.
AC Delco. It's like buying time. Now through December 4th, get started with up to $14 cash back on Delco Freedom batteries.
A service to the race fans here at Phoenix. Get around this 1-mile oval. Fan Tram.
Only way to travel,
I guess.
That's pretty neat. They need that everywhere.
Jack Roush has had a walk up pit road. He's now standing at the Bill Elliott pit talking to Mark Martin on the radio, but he was going to come up and have a word with the Wally Dallenbach crew. They had the hood up, but they've sent Wally back out into the race. Buddy?
Mark, this is Buddy Baker at TNN.
Yeah, make it quick here. We're fixing to go back to green.
Okay, man. We noticed you're doing a little chassis change in there. Everything okay?
It's pretty good. We're trying to get it just a little bit better. Kyle's pretty good on long runs. We're real good on short runs, but trying to get it to where to run a little bit better on a long run.
Okay, man. Good luck to you.
Thanks, man.
Mark Martin has been the class of the field so far today. Rick Mast is the leader. It's the 4th time that the Skoll Ford has led this year. He was 10th coming into the pits and came out first. Jimmy Hensley's back in the race in the Kodak car after a 36.5-minute repair stop to the left rear of the Morgan McClure machine. Kyle Petty in second behind Rick Mast, Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, Ernie Irvin. As we get ready for the restart, Wallace is 4th. Earnhardt is 10th among the contenders for the Winston Cup.
Boy, that little conversation with Mark Martin was a good example of the way he thinks. He had a car leading the race, and he's reading that thing. He knows it goes away a little bit in long runs. He's more concerned about getting long runs under that car where he can outrun people at the end of these tire stops. So we're going to see Mark work on that thing the rest of the day, it looks like.
You're going to watch this restart from our Ray Bestis helicopter-mounted aerial cam. Ray Bestis, best in brakes. Bringing you these pictures as Rick Mast on the outside of Brett Bodine brings the field down to the green flag. And we're back to racing. Lead lap cars in the outside lane.
Well, I tell you, Rick Mast got a good start on that thing. That 42 winding up behind him now.
We're going to see who's got the muscle right at this part of the race. You see the 6 car following Kyle Petty there. Boy, oh boy. That looked like a little looseness there to me.
They said they took a little bit of bite out of the 6 car. Took some bite out of it to see what it'd do to it.
Here's Earnhardt with Bobby Labonte.
Boy, Labonte got hung out there 3 wide. And that white stuff just says, no, do not get out here. He had those right side wheels out in it.
And here's Kyle Petty challenging Rick Mast for the lead.
Mark's going to get that opportunity to see how he can handle that 42 car now.
And Kyle Petty is the 8th different leader today. Off turn 2, Mark Martin wants 2nd place from Rick Mast.
He's got that inside line. And I believe he's got enough motor to do it where the thing has been jumping off these corners.
Yeah, Mark straightened it out there just a little bit and kind of took that groove away.
8th place.
Look at Earnhardt make that dive. I don't believe he's going to get that Sterling that easy. Now he's up under him.
That's where his
7th.
That's where his car's been off, Mike. You know, you've been looking at that thing. He can turn under people there, but when he gets in the gas, he can't get off that corner. But like you were talking about, it looks like the car's tight.
How do you correct for that?
They just got to keep taking bite out, working with air pressure, and it's just you're almost afraid to go too much at one time. But it looks like they're going to do some cranking on it.
Well, anytime you do anything on a car, you're trying to balance it better for the racetrack, and they'll just keep tweaking until they get it as good as they can get it, and then they'll have to just take what they get from there on.
There's the 8 car, Sterling Marlin up on the inside of Jeff Gordon. They almost got together, go through the dog leg. There again, Derek Cope on the outside.
Dale Jarrett up under there.
And Steve Grissom.
That outside groove don't look like it's very fast through 3 and 4 there.
On our 800 number, Tracer from New Hampshire wants to know what it might take for Rusty to take the point lead here. And the stats we have show that if Rusty would win the race and Earnhardt would finish 19th or worse, the point lead could change. Oh, Jeff Gordon.
Woo.
In the fence. Caution flag. Kyle Petty, first super speedway race he has led since Talladega in July.
You know, that was a smart thing there. The 2 cars know the yellow come out.
Axel's out of Jeff's car looks like.
Well, that looks like it might have knocked the track bar off of it too, Mike. You know, that rear track bar. Yeah, it is. Track bar's broken off.
You see the car drifting around there. Nothing to hold back end together there.
Yeah, that
Body's
bar
trying to move around.
The bar centers up the body and the frame on the rear housing. It's just broken off. Ooh, me, sideways coming at you.
Is that what a sports car type's called, pannered rod?
Yeah, pannered bar.
Okay, just checking.
Okay, if you sports type out there, it's a pannered bar broke off the rear of this car. I tell you, talk about a mean thing to try to get back. It's like driving a hook and ladder truck and you don't have the steering wheel.
My daddy says that looks like a country dog going to town there.
Oh, it's a shame, man. And we were just talking before that points, he's right in it. You know,
yeah, he's 11th in the points, just behind Ricky Rudd and just ahead of Harry Gant.
Get down here in the corner. There's 24 on the outside. There goes Earnhardt up the track. The car slide up. Got right in the back of him, turned him around there.
Not a lot unlike the incident with Schrader.
Look at Bobby Labonte go underneath there. Todd Bodine locks up the brakes there.
Michael Waltrip in the yellow car.
Been talking about the 3-car. Had some push in it all day. Looked like it pushed right up, got right in the side of it.
Wow. That's a bad break for Jeff Gordon. He was running so well.
I'll tell you, that was a quick move by Bobby Labonte there.
Yeah, because, I mean, all he had to do is stack in the back of there, and about 15 more hit them.
Gordon has gone to the garage. And they are pitted pretty far away.
It's going to take a while for him to get to the garage to work on the car.
Bobby Hillen, Ken Schrader, Wally Dallenbach, and Rick Corelli on pit road. During this caution, here are the leaders. So as we're under caution here for the 7th time today, Kyle Petty leads Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, Rick Mast, and Ernie Irvin. And we asked Ricky Rudd how the progress is going on his building a brand new race team for 1994.
Oh, we're real pleased. We're gonna run a Ford next year. Tide will also be the colors on the car as they have been for the last couple of years for me. So we're real proud to have Tide with us. The only difference right now will be a number change on the car. It'll be car number 10, and Rudd Performance Motorsports will be listed as the owner. We're still working with some associates. We should have one on board by Daytona, but nothing signed as of yet.
Do you add a tip when you pay your taxes? Use lots of stamps when you only need one? Well, your brand is probably on this table, next to mine. Both brands protect to 84 below zero. Boil-over protection? Identical. And both protect all metals. There is one important difference. Either this one costs about $1 more, or this one costs about $1 less. Peak. Maximum everything except the price.
Hey, use a spark plug that's tested to fire clean for 30,000 miles. Motorcraft. Motorcraft quality parts from Ford.
Next Sunday, live only on TNN Motorsports, Busch Grand National returns to North Carolina's Hickley Motor Speedway, and it's crunch time. With the points race on the line, Busch drivers will be pushing their cars right to the edge as they try to capture not only the checkered flag, but a possible season championship. With one race to go, it's do or die. The Pantry 500 next Sunday, live only on TNN Motorsports.
In IndyCar racing, when it rains, we don't race on super speedways. But we're running this IndyCar on Goodyear Eagle GSC street radials to prove a point. What's the point? Outstanding wet traction. Eagle GSC, only from Goodyear.
Live exclusive coverage of the Slick 5500 on the Nashville Network is brought to you by Goodyear, #1 in tire. You see, the backstretch of this racetrack is not straight. It's a looping, curving race backstretch on this D-shaped racetrack. They've just restarted this race, and Mark Martin is the car that has just taken the lead from Kyle Petty on the outside at turn number 3.
Whatever chassis adjustment they made on that 6 car really made that car handle. He passed the 42 car on the outside going in third corner. I hadn't seen that done all day.
Now, right where we was talking about that dog leg, he got a good run on the outside. He just drove around him going in the middle of the corner. Hard to do here.
And we've had several calls on the 800 number about what gear ratio the car is running, what rear end ratio they run on this flat mile track. And a lot of teams don't like to talk about that, folks. We can't much tell you because, you know, that's one of their strategies. What springs you run, what, you know, it's a little bit more obvious. But what pump can you put in that center section of that rear end? A lot of folks don't like to let on and don't like to know how much RPM that they are running.
No, and you know, how you run the points is one thing that can dictate what gear you got in.
Yep.
Mark Martin, he's sitting there twisting his motor out of the frame, going to win the race. 42 right there is probably turning it hard. Some of these guys have got to weigh it out and evaluate, do I risk blowing it up today? I know they got to finish racing, so a lot of things enter into what gear you put in the car.
It's a double-edged sword. You raise RPM, you lower reliability. No two ways about it.
The fuse gets shorter.
Yeah, that puts it much better.
Yes.
Here's Ralph.
Jeff Gordon waiting patiently in his car. Jeff, what happened to you?
I don't know. You know, the 3 car and myself were racing, and really, I know he's going for a championship. I'm not going to try to stop him. I mean, I was falling back. He clearly got underneath me, and for some reason, he got in my left rear. I don't know what happened, but sent us in the wall, and he's still out there.
The car is just damaged in the rear panhard bar. As soon as they get that fixed, Jeff will return.
They had a long run from the turn 1 end of pit road back to the garage area to get that Jordan fixed. Mark Martin by 3 car lengths over Kyle Petty, Rusty Wallace, Ernie Irvin. Bill Elliott is 5th, Rick Mast is 6th, Darrell Waltrip 7th, Sterling Marlin 8th, and Bobby Labonte in the 9th spot.
Neil, the 6 car made a big pass a while ago in 3, but he said that the 42 car was good in long runs, and you see him starting to close the gap in a little bit here, and he's running a little bit lower through the corners. Looks like the car may be handling just a little bit better than Mark Martin's car.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I think the racetrack's going to change a little bit. Since we started this race, we've had overcast, a little bit of cloud cover all day. Now we got some sun on the racetrack. So, I mean, now they've been catering it to that overcast condition. Now they got to go back the other way.
Dale Earnhardt is the 10th place car. Mike Waltrip, Chuck Strickland, then Dick Trickle, and the Citgo Ford of Morgan Shepherd. At 14th position, that's Ricky Rudd on the inside. Now Todd Bodine's made a couple of stops. From Lake Speed, Harry Gant, Dale Jarrett, and Steve Grissom are wrapped up in that one. Todd Bodine is 3 laps down in the 75 car, the factory stores Ford of Butch Mock.
Watching that 75 car, they got an extremely soft right front spring in that car. The whole front of the car was dragging the ground going in the corner. Look at this, Neil.
Yeah, they got the big ground clearance up there running 5 inches. When they go down in this corner, they're dragging the ground. So, and you got to keep in mind, it's a flat racetrack. You're not pulling a lot of G's or anything. The chassis just as soft as traveling that much.
Trying to lap past Todd Bodine there. That's Lake Speed in the Bud Moore car. Harry Gant, Dale Jarrett, Steve Grissom. Pick up the race for 6th place. Back behind Bill Elliott. Rick Mast, Darrell Waltrip, Sterling Marlin, Bobby Labonte, Dale Earnhardt.
There's Waltrip. He's been working his way to the front. I can't help but think before the day's over, he'll be a stronger player than this because just consistently turning out good laps.
His battle's about 4 seconds behind the leader. Eight different drivers have led this race today. Dick Trickle, Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, Sterling Marlin, Ernie Irvin, Jeff Gordon, Rick Mast, and Kyle Petty. Now there's Elliott. He's about 1 3/4 seconds behind 4th place Ernie Irvin and just ahead of this pack. Sterling on the bottom again.
Before they repaved this track last year, once you made that move to the inside, you pretty well had that pass made. But talked about earlier, that outside lane is good now.
Several calls on our 800 line. We'll give you that number again. Toll free, it's 1-800-451-7331 if you have a question. And there have been a lot of them about Stanley Smith, the driver who was injured at Talladega. As we watch this race between Hut Strickland for 12th place, Dick Trickle, Morgan Shepherd, and Ricky Rudd. But Stanley Smith is at home. He goes to Lakeshore Rehabilitation Hospital in Birmingham in the morning, rehabbing for muscle injuries sustained from his head injuries, and he works with his family business in the afternoon. But Stanley Smith is well on the way to recovery. And certainly we all wish him well, and we're glad so many fans are concerned about it.
You bet on that.
Napa Field standing update, where your favorite driver is at 143 laps.
You know, Hut Strickland, we see the 27 car here. At the first of the race, he really moved up when they dropped the green, and now he's back in 12th place. Going outside of there, Morgan Shepherd coming up under him. Looked like his car was really good in the race when it first started.
Morgan Shepherd has just been phenomenal this year. He's always up in the top 10 when the race is over. He's running the car quite well this year.
I'll tell you, I think with Eddie Wood and Lynn Wood, Leonard and all those guys, the more they work together, the more that thing will gel. And there's no doubt Morgan's won races with different teams, and I'm telling you, this car right here is plenty capable of winning races.
Watching Dick Trickle, Larry Hendricks Mannheim auctions car, and now Shepherd tries the high side, and Ricky Rudd moves in.
I don't think Trickle's got this car handling like he wants it yet, Neil. You notice he pulled way over on the inside going through the corner there instead of letting the car move out just a little bit. Now he's up high. One corner he's low, next corner he's high. I think his car is giving him a hard time.
I'll tell you what he does when he gets a good jump off that corner. The motor seems to really accelerate good off the corner. But right in the middle, like you're talking about, but he's not just knocking off like he wants to.
Take you back up to the race for fifth. Bill Elliott, Rick Mass, Darrell Waltrip, Sterling Marlin, Bobby Labonte, and Dale Earnhardt's drifted back a bit from that battle in 10th place. Here's the way they're running at Phoenix. 152 laps, 4 laps from halfway in the Slick 5500. TNN's live coverage continues after this.
The other day I get in my car, won't start. No small problem, right? Well, I figure it's the battery, so I go down to the AutoZone and I tell him what I need. The guy says to me, let's check your old one first. It might not be the problem. Turns out he was right. All I needed was a new battery cable. Talk about saving money. Now you tell me, would another parts store done that? They made sure I got exactly what I needed. Now I'll remember that. Believe me, I will.
Where you see a close encounter, Ford sees a way to make braking safer for you. Where you see a crowded corner, Ford sees ways to make cornering more secure. It's why we race. Every time you see Ford take home another trophy, Ford has seen ways to win something far more important: every driver's confidence. Have you driven a Ford lately?
In IndyCar racing, when it rains, we don't race on super speedways. But we're running this IndyCar on Goodyear Eagle GSC street radials to prove a point. What's the point? Outstanding wet traction. Eagle GSC, only from Goodyear.
The Texas Tornado. Hey, baby, ¿qué pasó? And Tish Hinojosa.
Where the winding river runs by.
It's a hot Tex-Mex night. The Texas Connection from Fiesta, Texas. Monday.
Riding along with Mark Martin as they take the halfway sign. Smoker down in turn 1.
Hut Strickland's car.
Oh.
Yeah, he's pulling way to the inside.
Yeah, looks like they left the Fryer-later on too long.
He just knocked it out of gear. He had a tremendous amount of smoke coming out of it. The question was there any oil in the middle of that corner? They're going through that area right now.
And it looks like everything's okay, so we'll stay green here. We've had 7 caution flags thus far for 32 laps. As Darrell Waltrip Moves around Loy Allen Jr. He started 21st. You can see Waltrip's march toward the front. He's now the 7th place car.
Like they said, the 27 did drop a valve coming off that corner.
And Strickland apparently doesn't think it's terminal. He did not take the car to the garage. Instead, he has come to pit road.
Neil, if that was a valve, they got a lot more than just a valve. A valve don't smoke.
Oh, yeah, well, probably dropped it and swallowed it through the piston or something, but boy, it did go away, didn't it?
Yeah, they're pushing it back to go in behind the wall now.
There's what we saw a few laps earlier as they went that corner.
Go ahead. You see this right here? The motor's smoking a little bit. Watch it right here. That's where it really turned loose.
Hut Strickland will leave this team at the end of 1993. Jimmy Spencer will drive that car. Here is Strickland's new ride, Smokin' Joe's Racing. Camel Cigarettes will sponsor the Travis Carter-owned team, car number 23. They rolled this car out on the parade lap this morning, and Hut Strickland will be the driver.
That's like a spotted dog. You'll have to get used to looking at that.
It's a unique color scheme, to be sure.
Here they're going in the garage. That thing terminal, I believe. And I tell you what, we're watching Mark Martin lead by a tremendous amount. When he made that call earlier, he said, hey, we need to loosen this car up, son. There he was leading the race, but he felt like he needed to better it for long runs. Bad news, folks. He bettered it.
Mark Martin is 3rd in the points, 1st in the race. Rusty Wallace is 9th. This man, Dale Earnhardt, is 10th. Let's go to Glenn.
Well, we came to Earnhardt's pit to find out what his problem was. The car just not handling the way they wanted to. Richard Childress told me the car is way too tight. They set the car up yesterday afternoon under clear, sunny skies. The racetrack was warm. They set the car up to combat those conditions. Today it's cloudy and overcast. The track is cooler. The car is just simply way too tight. They can't take enough wedge out of it to loosen it up. They're going to have to do something else. They're talking right now about exactly what that's going to be.
And Glenn, as the folks at home saw on the graphic, the way Earnhardt's running it now, he could not clinch the title today. He needs a 186-point lead over Wallace to put it completely away. Right now, it's only a 36-point margin based on where they're running at the moment.
In fact, Derek Cope's car just went away going in turn 3. It's the right front tire went away on him, Mike. He's got a flat.
Cope comes to pit road as we're at 163 laps. 26 cars still on the lead lap. And we asked Travis Carter, who right now works for Bud Moore on Lake Speed's team, about next year.
A lot of exciting things happening for us. We just announced that Camel Cigarettes will be our new sponsor. Name of Smokin' Joe's race team. We'll be campaigning a Ford Thunderbird. Hut Strickland will be our driver. And we're in the process of building a brand new race team for that. Really looking forward to the future.
Next Sunday on TNN Motorsports. Okay, how about some service? Fill her up and give me a new set of tires. Come on, I'm in a hurry here. It's the World Championship Pit Crew competition next Sunday on TNN Motorsports.
If your automobile needs collision repair or a new paint job due to an accident, or maybe it's time to get rid of those minor dents, High-Tech Auto Body will give you a free estimate with the most professional body repair and auto painting your car deserves. Certified frame technicians with lifetime warranties on all collision repairs make High-Tech Auto Body your #1 choice. Call High-Tech Auto Body for your next insurance estimate at 249-9360 or visit us at 507 Muller Lane in Newport News. That's High-Tech Auto Body.
Nissan's got another great deal. Now you can get the Nissan Sentra XE 2-door and 4-door limited edition package with air conditioning, AM/FM stereo tape, and cruise control, all for only $99.99, plus freight processing fee, tax, title, and tags. That's $2,000 less than the Toyota Corolla DX. Expect more from a dealership and get more at Hampton Nissan, Virginia's oldest Nissan dealer. Visit Hampton Nissan at 2307 West Mercury Boulevard, Hampton.
Welcome back to Phoenix. I'm Mike Joy with Neil Bonnet and Buddy Baker, Glenn Jarrett, and Ralph Shaheen on pit road today. Ernie Irvin and Rusty Wallace have been going at it. The only 2 guys to win in the last 6 Winston Cup races.
Yeah, the 28 car was able to get around Rusty, and Buddy, just like you're talking about, he didn't give a lot of resistance. Saw him run him down. He let him roll back.
Well, I'm sure Rusty's aware that Earnhardt's having problems right now, and that's going to be hard to cure. When you set a car up for a real slick condition, you have a cool day like this, it'll take a rubber in the right rear spring or something like that to really drastically change that car for him to get back in this race.
And it looks like the sun's going back behind the clouds.
I'll tell you what it looks like. Look at the 28 here, Mike. He's pulling up behind Kyle Petty. There's two guys here really closed in on Kyle, and he had a pretty good lead on him earlier.
They lap around Ron Hornaday Jr. and Rick Wilson. Now come up on the 61 of Winston West champ Rick Pirelli. Up to 5th place, where Darrell Waltrip has caught Bill Elliott.
A little bit earlier when I said it's bad news that Mark got his car better, he's checked out.
Yes. Yes, he has.
Good for him, bad for the show.
Guys, if you've ever noticed cars that run really fast at Pocono run well here for some reason. I guess it's because the corners are virtually flat, and they run about the same car they run in Pocono. And it always happens. The same cars that lead that race, and Darrell Waltrip's car always runs well at Pocono.
Dale Earnhardt just went past Kenny Schrader. Ford as he's got a little toe-in problem, and it may have been from either. The bump with Kenny Schrader here. This was right near the beginning of the race. Lap 5.
I tell you what, if they've got a toe-in problem, that's not something you can fix in a hurry. And when they're worried about track positioning and finishing this race, if they start messing with that toe-in, it's going to cost them some time.
Could have been that, or Earnhardt also got into the side of Jeff Gordon.
Yep.
Gordon's car is in the garage being worked on at present. There's Richard Childress, who owns Earnhardt's car.
You know, at the top of the show when we were talking about you can adjust on a car, but you got to have the right basic pieces in there. The 4 springs are in that car evidently aren't what they need. They've adjusted about as far as they go. Like Buddy said, they're going to either have to put a rubber in one of them or do something drastic.
Donald from Pennsylvania wants to know what happens if Earnhardt and Wallace end up in a tie, and it could happen.
It goes to the guy that wins the most races, from what I understand.
And that would be Rusty, because he's won 9, and Earnhardt only has 6, even if he wins the last 2. Rusty would be the champion.
There's always some way. There'll never be a tie. They'll go from that to the next number of second places or some kind of deal. There's always a way to not have it in a tie.
Right.
You see Ernie Irvin moving by Kyle Petty. I mean, he is on the move.
Try to do it the hard way, right around the outside. Drove right around him. And, you know, we heard Mark Marcus say that Kyle's car was good on long runs. So it looked like Mark has fixed it. Even though we picked up a radio transmission from Mark just a minute ago, he said, my car is better when it's sunny. And now it's overcast again, so it's coming and going for him.
You have to be a weatherman as well as a chassis man, a tire man, and everything else.
It's hard to tune Mother Nature in.
Yeah, all right.
See that 2 car? I'm telling you, he's going to stay right there. That team has been tremendous down the stretch right here. They're always right up front. Be tough to beat, I'll tell you. They've got a good race team.
Well, I'm not going to say anything that profound right now, but that 28 car of Ernie Irvin will be a person to reckon with next year in the points race.
Absolutely. Next Sunday, the Pantry 500 from Hickory live on TNN, the last Busch Series short track race. Atlanta was snowed out in March. Now, TNN will not be able to come back to Atlanta and televise that race, so you need to go and be there. Bruton Smith called up, says there's plenty of great seats remaining for the Saturday Slick 5300 in Atlanta in 2 weeks. You ought to go see that race.
I think I'll just go down there and see it.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I'll be there, Bruton.
Save me a ticket.
Very competitive race here. All the caution flags we've had, 7 of them so far, have kept 23 cars on the lead lap, as Darrell Waltrip and Bill Elliott continue to run a car length apart for 5th place.
You know, without dwelling on Atlanta deal, you just think that the Busch races they have at Talladega, Daytona, Atlanta's going to present that same show. It's going to be quite a show. That big high-speed numbers for these Busch cars.
You know, one other number we're watching besides cars on the lead lap is cars out of the race, and presently there are 8 of those, and that would have quite an effect on the points battle depending on what might happen to Wallace or Earnhardt. But right now, 8 of the 43 starters are out of this race at the moment. The least amount of points available in this race, 42 to the 43rd place finisher. 72 is the point lead that Earnhardt holds. Ernie Irvin is closing in on the race leader. Watch Bill Elliott here. Knocked it down to 1.9 seconds.
And it's really visible, too, on the racetrack. You can see him closing that gap.
Darrell Waltrip finished everywhere in the top 5 but first in this race. Battle of the Pontiacs, 3rd and 4th place, Kyle Petty, Rusty Wallace. .179 laps complete at Phoenix. Mark Martin, Ernie Irvin, Kyle Petty, Rusty Wallace, and Bill Elliott.
The Miller Genuine Draft Rusty Wallace stock car. See it.